Doing it right now.
Hey, do we have who all do we have on the call? I feel like I'm missing somebody.
Stella?
No,
We
Stella was joining, but she might have some problems with her phone.
I just see iPhone.
iPhone is George.
Oh, George is on there. Okay, good. I have invited a couple other people who may come on a little bit at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and start because I think most of them have seen this, but this is the Pacific Northwest, the area that we're coming from.
Not showing us, we don't see it yet.
Okay, I'm going to show it.
Share screen.
What am I doing here? Share screen.
Is it on your computer?
Hold on. No, it's on. Here we go. Here's share screen.
And then you have to make sure the sound's on.
I'm going to take it to here. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to move you over to this other. I'm just going to move you up. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. And then, see, I need tech support. We need tech support to make things work more efficiently.
Got this, Joy.
What's that?
What do you need help with?
Just just right now I'm just doing it.
Okay.
That's a metaphorical question to what we need to do if we're going to move at a light speed to create change in the world.
There you go. That's going to come. There you are.
Okay, well, check this out, guys. This is really cool.
You hear it.
Can you hear it?
You hear birds.
We can hear it, but I can only see a screen.
Yep.
With
we only
many.
see a screen with
9
Google.
million people live around.
Sometimes you have to go in and share sound as well on your Zoom.
Oh, we have the sound if you put it on, but we don't have the visual. The visual is only a screen that shows Google and whatever else is on there.
So what you should do is save this to
Yeah, I think you have to choose the screen that you want to share, and it has to be the one that has the video.
No, it's on here. This is on YouTube. This is on YouTube.
We're not watching it.
Then go to the YouTube window. Open the YouTube window in your computer.
I don't think you want me to do that. No, I don't want to do that. Not now. I want to go here.
What are those open tabs? Should be YouTube. See on the very top, you have all your tabs.
Yeah.
You find one that has YouTube.
Looks like the one on the far left.
Yeah, furthest left.
Furthest left at the top.
Right above where it says Google.
Here we go. I'll do it this way. Can you guys hear it now?
We can hear it, we can't see it.
The protected
Well, we can hear
waters
it, we just can't see it.
are nestled into the mountains and islands of North America's Pacific shore.
Sounds wonderful.
Maybe you can share the link in the chat, and I will try
North of
to share it from
Canada,
my
British
side.
Columbia.
Good. I'll do that right
Tech
now.
support is done. Good job, Andre.
You got a good
The sea
second
has
right
been
there.
home to the Coast Salish peoples for millennia.
Where do I go to
And
chat?
today, almost 9
There
million
it is.
people
Oh, it is
There we go.
You had it.
Please.
There it is.
Oh,
Right
yeah.
there.
James do
We
it.
can see it now.
3 great arms.
Oh, he can
That's
see
it.
it now.
Full screen.
He can see it.
Puget Sound
Full screen.
Now maybe just play it in full screen.
that connects the
Now
other
click on the video, the screen itself, and that pull down should disappear.
What I've learned from scientists
Is this
is
showing?
that the Salish Sea is a giant
Oh,
You're
yeah,
moving
yeah.
it away. No, we cannot see it anymore.
nutrients from rivers.
Okay, then I'm
Goodbye.
going to leave it
nutrients from
here
the
and I'm
deep
going to make it
offshore
bigger.
Pacific.
Yes.
And I can
Plants are
back it
stirred
up.
together by tidal currents
This one?
into one body of life-giving
You
water.
go.
There you
You
go.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay, now watch it. You
Across
guys
the
are going to
international
love this
border.
thing. Watch this.
The protected waters of the Salish Sea
You
are
can hear it?
nestled into the mountains
Yes.
and islands of North America's Pacific shore. The Salish Sea stretches across the international border from just north of Campbell River, British Columbia, south to Olympia, Washington. The sea has been home to the Coast Salish peoples for millennia, and today almost 9 million people live around its shores. The sea is made up of 3 great arms, the Strait of Georgia in the north, Puget Sound in the south, and the Strait of Juan de Fuca that connects the other two to the open Pacific Ocean. What I've learned from scientists is that the Salish Sea is a giant mixing bowl where currents bring together nutrients from rivers and nutrients from the deep offshore Pacific, and these are stirred together by tidal currents into one body of life-giving waters. And that this large-scale circulation of ocean currents and all that they carry connects the Salish Sea together into a single giant ecosystem, a single body of life. It's truly extraordinary that these currents connect together the myriad of organisms and habitats across the web of life in the Salish Sea. And when I run into complex ideas like this, I look for a comparison to something simpler to help me visualize the way it works. And recently, that's exactly what happened. I came upon a different type of map of the Salish Sea, one that rotates the orientation of the sea so that north is to the left. And when I view the Salish Sea on its side, I immediately see something that I'd missed before. The Salish Sea has the shape of a windswept tree. In my imagination, the Strait of Juan de Fuca is the tree's inclined trunk. Puget Sound is a stunted crown pruned short by the wind, and the Strait of Georgia is a long leeward trail of branches. Victoria hugs the top of the trunk. Vancouver, Seattle, and Tacoma are perched above the wind-pruned branches, and Campbell River lies at the end of the windswept tree. I mention this idea to some friends, and they point me to a nearby tree shaped surprisingly like that of the Salish Sea. As I admire the tree, ideas spark, and I realize that the sea and the tree have some interesting things in common. Both straddle a boundary. The Salish Sea sits where mountains meet ocean, while the tree straddles atmosphere and earth, with branches in the air and roots in the soil. Then another similarity jumps to mind. Both Salish Sea and tree draw nutrients from both sides of the boundary they straddle. For the Salish Sea, nutrients flow in from both rivers off the mountains and currents from the open ocean, while a tree draws carbon dioxide and sunlight from the atmosphere, as well as water and nutrients from the soil. And this is getting really interesting, as I realize that both the Salish Sea and a tree have a circulation system that spreads the nutrients around. In the Salish Sea, currents driven by both rivers and tides carry nutrients to all parts of the Salish Sea, fueling growth in every corner. Similarly, the sap of a tree circulates sugars and water to all parts of the tree, fueling growth everywhere. This comparison really intrigues me. It suggests that the Salish Sea functions in some ways like a single living organism, a tree. Like a tree, the Salish Sea bridges two worlds, drawing nutrients from each, and like a tree's sap, circulates those nutrients with currents, and therefore supports life in every corner. And that's a key reason why the Salish Sea succeeds as well as it does. Its ocean currents connect together the entire Salish Sea and provide precious nutrients that are the foundation of the marine food web, nurturing all the life that knows the Salish Sea as home.
So I'd like you to read the credits here because it's significant. So I thought you might appreciate seeing that particular movie first.
I caught my stepson spying on me in the shower at the same time that my husband used this trick to get hard. I discovered something
What?
crazy in the Boston
I don't know
doctor.
how to kill it.
I almost fired him until I let my stepson test it on me at dawn in the bedroom.
Kill it.
It's really up.
I'm so sick and tired of getting interfered with, which is the whole point of why we're creating an online media platform and marketing and education platform that does not depend upon this medium to distribute information and educational material to the public. We actually have a online broadcasting system that will allow us to broadcast audio and video and put educational material that's coming online over the next 3 to 6 months. We're already working some with it, with uniting creatives and the Noble Goldman platform. We're also working in Bellingham with a radio station that broadcasts now internationally. She's moving, it's KLOY radio out of Bellingham, and we broadcast across Canada and the US on the western seaboard right now, but in the next 3 months where we will be global at a much greater level, and we will have AI support, and we will be able to communicate to people all over the world without codependence on the systems that currently exist to dominate our world. So that is just starting there.
You stop the share, that's how you kill it.
Stop the share here. Okay, good. So that's the first one. Any comments on that one to start with?
That was beautiful. I just loved the like connection between the tree and the waters and the rivers, and it just makes a lot of sense. And I was just thinking, like, one of the things that came through when I was channeling is that all the women on the world represent Mother Gaia, and that the rivers are our veins, and the womb is the ocean, and you know, like all these things, the rain, our tears. Can be joy tears or it can be sadness tears, but like we can see the cycles of the water also in the women's cycles.
So I have another video that I want to show you.
That's why.
Also, if you can post it, because I go shoot away from my spot, so I've been driving. I just finally got a space to pull over, so everything was in the background. So I'd like to look at it. So if you can give the link to it,
I will put them all in there, but
Okay.
I'll do it when I can figure out how to do it. In the moment,
Yeah, just
I
whenever.
want to get you another video that is amazing because it promotes who the person is from Whatcom County, who is, I made all these things so handy to myself and then I lost them.
What was the title of that last YouTube video? The Salish Sea?
Yeah, a Salish Sea, a single body of life.
Okay, so Jai, if you search that on YouTube, you'll find it. The Salish Sea, SALISH,
I'll
a
get
single
it.
body of life.
Yeah, easier if there's a link there for all of us at any time. You know,
Okay,
so
yeah.
I appreciate it.
Okay, the next one is to show you guys another video, which we have done. Well, this is the Intentional Change Network. That is our platform where we can communicate with people from all over the United States. And this is under the auspices of Mighty Networks. Mighty Networks is the mothership platform. How many of you guys are familiar with, just say I, because I can't see your pictures.
Aye.
Heard of it?
Okay. so a few of you, what Mighty Networks has been doing has been building a whole huge platform for how to coalesce networks of people all over the planet. And they have, let me see if I can get my screen showing properly.
I just posted it on the chat. I searched it on YouTube and posted the link. Jay,
Thank you.
sure.
Thank you. So this is
Anytime,
huh?
anytime.
Yeah, thank you. I'll believe me, I will use you because you're good at this.
Every time.
Here's people like Rosalind Shorman has worked on the Hunger Project. Can you guys still see my screen? Am I still showing?
It's still showing that girl.
Yeah.
No, you gotta reshare the screen.
Okay, hold on. Where the hell do I go to reshare my
Is she
screen?
over there?
Where? Come over here.
I'll do it for you.
Can you please do it?
Yes, I can.
I am so not technically
Inclined.
I am not. I have the technology of humanity and humans, but not this digital platform. So what I'm asking him to do is to
Which one
show.
are you trying to share? Is it in here or is it
It's
on?
this one right
It's
here.
that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, good. Look at, I had it already in here on the single body of life. But what we want is to go to the main screen of this platform. So Uniting Creatives is a platform to organize millions of people around the world underneath the Mighty Networks platform. Mighty Networks is a large social sharing platform that is bringing people from
The
around the
commander
world together.
of Donald Trump's so-called
For God's
Not that
sake.
one.
I know, I'm trying to.
Actually,
blitz of
Sorry. I want to get rid of all of this. That's what I want to do. There. Now, here.
God, I had it all organized for you. Anyway, when I went to the meeting last night, I'm going to go ahead and talk with you. When I went to the meeting last night, Mel Hoover from.
That's the wrong one.
That's the wrong one. Just close that right here.
I'm going to kill this. Okay. It was in your other thing, right? Right here somewhere?
Let me just go back. Share this screen right here because I'm going to open these things down underneath here.
Just trying to find where that one was.
Let's let you guys talk for a minute while I figure out how to share the screen. What I want to say is that we have right now in our platform an audio recording platform. It's a news media broadcast platform that goes through audio and telephone so that people can easily communicate across smartphones, and whether it's Apple phones or Androids, so that we can communicate with large numbers of young people and people who are connected all over the world. That's number one. Number two, we have a broadcast platform that also does it using e-commerce and news platforms so that we can communicate news to people all over the world, and none of them are going to be controlled or stopped by the military industrial complex, which is controlling so much of our Google broadcasting and controlling so much of our what do you call it, like Facebook, and the people who are controlling our these platforms. So anyway, I'll keep. Let me see if I can get in there because I know that I had these tabs up. I did have them up.
I'll make a suggestion later on
Okay.
the best way to make it happen. But you guys made tabs. I'm not sure which one.
I know,
it is.
I've got all the tabs open on purpose. Here.
There it is.
Here's the restorative community call. I'll share this one. Share. Good.
Is it on there? Because what you're sharing is different things from there.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm going to stop. The bottom line is I have figured out from Whatcom County and Washington State is that we've got interference by telecommunications that is interfering with our military industrial complex at the border, and the Salish Sea right there is at deep risk of being dominated and controlled by atomic subs. And it's being controlled by the military industrial complex, which is running our oil rigs through the Pacific Ocean. This Pacific Ocean then is through the Salish Sea. The Salish Sea is also all tribal islands. We have a lot of Native American tribal islands, a lot of tribes that are controlling land in this bioregion, but the military is controlling the tribes. So we have tribal nations that have massive holdings and interest all over the islands from Alaska to Patagonia. And if we don't take care of and talk about the waterways of the planet, Trump right now is talking about how 5% of the world's economy is all controlled by the water. And he's talking about controlling our water commerce. Now, if you understand that our waterways is controlled by international trade and international business, not state or federal business, all the waters of the world
Yeah.
are under control. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, she's asking for the measurements now. Can we run it out?
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to mute myself.
Um,
So which one was that? Was it in your inbox?
it's this one right here. I just want to open this one. Can I just open this one?
You can try.
Can you guys see this? Oh, here we go.
There it is.
Phew. Can you guys see this screen? The Restorative Community Coalition. Can you guys see this screen?
Yes.
Okay, so if you go to the restorativecommunity.org, this is the website that we've been doing a lot of research from. We're talking about how to build a humane community. We have the I Change Justice podcast. Right here, we've got 207 episodes of the I Change Justice podcast, and you can click on this link. It's on iTunes. But what I want you to know is that we've also done this building this we've done these restorative community coalition research documentations. Like this one right here is where we started to talk about why we
Taxpayers already said no to a bigger jail. We want to
These are
invest in people's
PowerPoints.
success, not in their failure.
And in this particular panel, we've actually gone through and we've shown how the destructive cycle of life starts at our arrest, how it has taken apart our social systems and our structural systems. And this is the same thing as we're doing when we come under the Trump campaign and we're harnessing and arresting people all over the world. This is a PowerPoint that explains the cycle of how that works. We then go through it. We've done the research to be able to show how this causes trauma throughout our nation and throughout the world, and how this trauma then backs up. And there's it shows the cycle, how the system works for the system, but not for the humanity or the people in a community. Now, this is understanding trauma at the lowest level of our society, okay? And this is how the United States is under assault by the military-industrial complex. So we show the larger system cycles in here. We can show it on multiple levels. You guys can come back and see it. How it does not work for our local community. This is a small microcosm of how the United States is traumatizing the world. Does that make any sense? You guys still there?
Yes.
Okay, so what I've done is over the last 10 years, what I started to recognize is that how are they doing this economically? And this is how they are they are paying people based upon junk food, which is actually contributing to the domination of feed of people, and they're making money inside the system. And this is replicated whether it's a local Whatcom County jail, whether it's a national jail, whether it's the prison industrial complex, or whether it's an international prison industrial complex, which is the destruction of our waterways, our marine waterways around the world. And I've done the research here to show how the money is made and how the government works and how social services are exploited. And this is entire mega business money game. And I've actually diagrammed here how it physically works so that people can understand it and how we can change it. Because unless you understand how the system works on a negative, it's hard to understand how we can change it. So once
we call this Shadowlands. Good job.
Okay, good. So now we can explain towards the end of this call, we show how we can actually build a reinvest in people's success and not in their failure. So that's the point of going to this particular website and checking out this platform. So that's just one of the videos in here. This one is Alona Crone. Alona Crone is a world-class economist.
One thing, because it's all interlinked.
And she talks, this is amazing.
A bit into.
She talks about, she was working with the large systems of the economy. And she talks about how the world economy, because she's working at that level. I'll let you listen to her for just a minute. How do I make her go?
Push back on Alona, do your PowerPoint. I'm so excited to see it.
So, yeah, so this, another thing I would like to say is that I have a deep, deep love and compassion for human beings. And I think that's what really makes me unique as an economist. Because that's not usually a combination that you get. And I have so much appreciation for all our differences, for all the different cultures, for all the different ideas and thoughts and potential out there. And my goal really is with this presentation to allow people to see through the veil and just realize that this can't work. It's not going to work. And we need to start doing something different. And we're going to talk about more of what that is later in the week. There are some huge numbers in there. There's some graphs in there. Don't be scared. Just take it in. We can talk about anything that you like afterwards. If there's a really economy and how they work within themselves, then we are looking at the US economy. That's just one slide. And then there's a look at the rising inequality. Then we're looking at the system's effect on humans. And then we're looking at the business model of incarceration. And I've also got one case study about Florida, which is looking to do things differently. So let's start with the economy.
I'm just going to let this run for a couple more minutes.
People, they feel so overwhelmed by it that people kind of submit to it like a natural catastrophe or whatever. It's completely out of human. Humans are powerless to deal with it, but it's actually a man-made system that is built on certain ideas of what humans are like and how they interact with each other. And so I don't want to go into too much detail with this, but I'd like to just highlight where this comes from. So the father of economics is generally seen as Adam Smith, and he wrote The Wealth of Nations in 1776, which I think is a really interesting coincidence when we're looking at American history. But that's just by the by. I believe that the way the economic system developed based on Adam Smith is actually a misunderstanding of what he meant. But again, that is just my theory. So everything that you know about the economy, this idea of there's private property, there's self-interest, people are self-interested and they interact with each other, and that creates competition, which will give us fair prices in markets. And the government should really not interfere that much with it, because that's just the way it works best. He said that basically that kind of system works best for all, because self-interest, individual self-interest adds up to a growing economy for all. That is the key idea that economists have taken out of it. He actually wrote a second book on the theory of moral sentiment, where he's talking about that every human being has an inner connection to what's right and wrong to do, which isn't connected to morals necessarily, but it is like an inner knowing of how to act in the right way.
So what I'm going to share is that you guys can go back in here and watch the rest of it. But this woman she works at the World Banking level, and she's lived in Africa. She went to Africa to study what was going on in Africa. She has traveled here to Washington State and studied with us in Whatcom County for a couple of months. And her whole conversation is how the global financial system has created this massive bubble, how this leads to the patterns of corporations and how that doesn't work. And then she has taken it apart, and she talked about what happened in New York City with the World Trade bombings. There's a whole lot of financial and fiscal understanding of how the world actually works and does not work for the life of the earth itself. And this is an amazing piece of information. I'll send you this as background information. Okay.
Monopoly mind. You call it monopoly mind.
Yes. And she then takes it apart. Now she's prepared, and I've already recorded the first of 5 new episodes that are going to come on, because she shows how these models don't work, and she has created a completely different economic system that is working for us, and she'll be releasing that shortly. And this is amazing.
And when you get a chance to see what Ray Potter is doing too, he's an incredible genius. Right now, he's about ready on Tuesday to present to a big investor the O model or zero model, or whatever you want to call it. He actually has the better term. I could maybe show you the
Perfect
WhatsApp video that he showed, if I can share my screen.
Sure.
You gotta let him share.
Okay. I'll stop sharing for here. Because the whole point is that if we can start bringing our resources, the whole point, do I have to, I don't,
You have to hit the
no, that's
thing.
not me sharing that.
No, but you're letting him share.
Oh, so I have to let you share? Can you not share?
If you're still sharing, no, I can't, but I'm just trying to find out where I am in regard to sharing what I want to share.
While he's searching for that, can I introduce my new currency that I'm wanting to share with the world?
Absolutely, because that's the whole point. The whole point of this is that there are people all over this planet who have solutions. We just do not have the mixing bowl to bring all these solutions forward. So that's why I brought you to these things, because there are many solutions. We just don't know them because we're getting locked out of them. So that's why we really need your post.
Yeah.
So
the idea is that we're wanting to inseminate a mindset.
Yeah, George.
Something that will guide people to, yes.
Let me show these. There's 3 real short things.
Okay.
That he's told me, no, I can't ask. I have to ask you not to share any of this information, but because and I'm not worried about that, you sharing it, but he is presenting on Tuesday to a big investor. He's one of the geniuses of our time, I believe, in regard to visuals and everything else, just about. And there's a guy named Harry Uvigi who has also another micro uh, uh, financing way for the programs like ours and so on. But I'll get to that another time after you get
So
through.
the point of that, Kurt, is that you're talking about bringing the billionaires and the millionaires of the world who are not part of the corporate domination mindset.
Yes.
There are all kinds of very wealthy people who want to share. They just haven't had a way to do it in such a way that we're collaborating together to make it happen. Is that right?
Yeah, right now what we have is that I haven't been able to get the sound on for you. Not sure exactly why.
This is also the premise of Coopoly, to be able to bring all of those ways together under one roof, to be able to share it in a gamified format.
In the sharing of the Zoom, there is an option where it says share visual and sound. Maybe you just need to activate that one.
And where is it?
I think in the video share options, the little arrow pointing up, you can put advanced sharing options, and then you can put there. Oh no, that's not it.
Video.
Yeah, there is one option maybe on more.
There's built in.
I know there's a place where you can say you want to share both video and sound.
It says share sound and
Audio.
Yeah, but he's controlling this one.
okay.
All right, let's try this.
So while we're looking for this, what I believe we're at is at a place where we can, with a little bit of support, I've got people who know how to organize telecommunications, people who know how to organize audio recordings and cell phone communications. We have people who know how to order the Educational Institute, and we're in a position to now start to bring all of you guys together. And it's about time because we need this for the world. And I think that's what I'm really excited about, this particular group of people right here on this call, being able to share the technology toolkits that we have in all different places all over this world, because people have been collectively building solutions. We just need the centrifuge to bring it all together. And that's different from building the storyboard, which is what's going to come on at 1 o'clock when we want to talk about what is the story that we want to tell about the future. And what is the vision that we're working towards and working on? Because we don't need to focus as much on we have been at war. That's in the past. That's as of before yesterday. What we're working on now is how do we bring forward the future, and how do we welcome the people who are working in with the aliens, with people, with the bugs that live around us, with the people who have different gifts that we're bringing forward. That's different. Have you figured out the sound yet?
No, it looks like we're gonna have to punt, but yeah.
Well, what I can narrate while that film is going on, though, is that we have lightning bugs all over this world that are working in the dark. There are all kinds of people. We just haven't been able to communicate them and
Yeah,
bring them together.
we're gathering them up as we go, and there's all kinds of different organizations that we're basically opening up now and opening up to, and then we're cross-pollinating as many ways we can, and we're also prompting people to even give it a go to get onto big platforms like Joe Rogan or somewhere like that, and expose even more people. And it looks like George can tell us about his way of funding all these great organizations that we're talking about right now.
I think we should hand it over to George and have you give us your pitch, because not only do you know how to organize this stuff, but you are a tremendous storyteller and one of our fastest learners on helping us to make this world a better place now. So go for it, George.
Well, I just have a fun 30-second elevator pitch for a new economy,
Good.
a new social currency that I want to introduce to the world. And I call it Timinergiminy.
What?
Timinergiminy, a 6-syllable fanciful word uniting time, energy, and money, representing an inseparable order for life on this planet, where we're given 1,440 minutes a day to do with as we please. Energy is how we spend it, and money is simply a measure of it and different for every human on the planet. Money to the exclusion of people or environment is not money at all. It's negative balance. Timinergiminy, go out and get you some.
So what's
I like it. I
so
was just
what's
thinking if you could somehow in that equation add love. Is there a way to add love to that equation?
That's in the energy.
Okay.
You know,
But there is
we
like
give
positive
love
energy
energy.
and negative energy.
Yeah, we give love energy out. When if I get money for something, I'm going to spend time and energy. It's going to liberate my time and energy. How we spend it is up to me and up to you and up to us as a group. So we're all going to give our time and energy, and we're going to generate some money that'll help share other energy with other people. And yeah, it's just an inseparable order. At this point, we measure it in money. I had a friend of mine, a spiritualist, that heard this spiel and said, Tim energy, Tim, huh? I can't remember that. And he says, why don't we just call it Tim energy and forget the money? And
I
it's
love
simple.
that idea. I love
Three
that idea.
syllables, it's just time and energy.
That is really assailable because that's catchy. Young children will welcome that to learn how to do it. We have game players and we have people who know how to build card games. They know how to build songs and stories and puzzles and that whole thing. There's a whole body of people who are ready, willing, and able to do that. And that would take us up to Jai because he's been working on that stuff. But before we lose Ashok Patel, I don't know, Ashok, if you can come on here and talk a little bit about how extraordinary the work you're doing in the medical model and with the space projects and with atoms and all you're an amazing human. Can you add to this particular conversation before you have to run?
Yeah, thanks, Joy. I'm at an airport, so I apologize for any background noise of announcements. But yeah, I've really enjoyed listening over the last hour and the synthesis of how you heal the planet at the same time as empower and engage humanity to understand itself, where it's been, and position us for healing going forward, future forward. Um, so maybe 4 parts. One, I'm a physician at Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. My daughter works as a family physician in Seattle, and she taught us about social justice through her work with Jesuit volunteers at the Asian Community Garden in Danny Wu downtown. And the uh, comments about how to engage the next generation. I really like this idea of collaborative peace gaming and combining a visualization of any complex data models with generative AI analytics and predictive models. Uh, my other observation is the United Nations just finished their Social Development Summit in Doha, Qatar. And they have a document that we should probably access related to a call to action for all countries and in the context of social development. And there are huge implications on how we build these communication systems and data so that we don't use all the energy just for the data modeling and the data analytics, as Joy implies, but also use AI's efficiencies in ways that we can learn and augment our creative intelligence. As a pulmonologist, I joke around with Joy about going from nothing to nothing, or zero to zero, or oxygen to oxygen, or breath to breath. And I would say it's good as you're inhaling and inspiring others to pause frequently so you can have time to metabolize that inspired oxygen, clean it up, find the right amount of energy, and then express it with loving kindness and positive intentions. And there is a lot of value in buffering the AI solution set with the 10 to 20% of debugging and um, error handling that we'll have to do as we make it culturally proficient and generalizable. So I think we're really still in an infancy mode of how to use the best of machine intelligence, augment human creativity, and find use cases and specific locations that have this story to tell. And what Joy is just a beautiful thing. You have the effort of the background, you have infrastructure now, you have a communication platform, and now you have people who understand the complexity enough not to shortchange and simplify it too much, but allow everyone for conversation.
Yeah, the significance, Ashok, of what you're talking about. Also, we're talking about um, people wanting to travel all over off the planet in order to go get water or deal with water and do all these things. And there's a huge difference between water in the earth and circulating life on the planet, water in our air, which is circulating water through our respiratory systems and through the ethers of the planet, and then water in the oceans when there's bugs that are going deep underground, and there's um, land controlling people controlling the land. So the land, the air, and the water stands for law, and we try to control law with words, and words are not sufficient when we're talking about circulatory systems of an entire planet living system. That's why it's so important that you understand the difference, because you do surgery on people where you can kill them if you don't take care of the proportions.
Yeah, maybe I'll close. I have to leave in 5 minutes for boarding, but since I'm flying, the pause at the airports are FAA's shut down a lot of air traffic for air traffic safety. They've shut a lot of volume out of the airport, so our flights are delayed. Uh, there is still risk on taking safe transportation through the air. And I'm very mindful that we have to not just put out the positive scenarios and the healing that's going to be done if we do this communication and content exchange well, but we should put the disaster guardrails up front and mitigate as much as we can future unexpected negative consequences. So my comment about yesterday, I met with human spaceflight operations planning, because at Mayo we also have a aerospace residency, and we're getting prepared to work with NASA and international space relations in terms of Artemis Accords, because a lot of private sector interests in going into space and controlling things up there. The military also has their section with Space Force, but at that level of complex systems, what everything you're modeling and talking about at scale of Whatcom County applies for international standards and training, cross-training astronauts who are preparing to explore deeper space like Moon, Mars, and beyond. So we have the technology, we have the capabilities. There's lots of financial private sector interest in going into space, but I think you can reverse engineer and start with a lot of good, trusted sources of storytelling and what we did wrong right here on Earth, and not use it to disgrace anyone, but use it as a way of learning how we can heal the planet and really change trajectories for the 9 domains of the planetary boundaries. 4 of them are already out of threshold, but we can maybe hopefully make an impact on the other ones.
So you're talking not about fear as people talk about, we're just fear mongering. No, this is reality check. I mean, when you're doing surgery on a human being, you've got a body on the table, and if you have to go in with serious confidence that you're working with good measures, good tools, good equipment, so that you know what's going on to the body, so that you have a good probability of getting that person through the surgery before they die, right?
Can I say something really quick?
Yeah.
You mind if I jump in here? I know Ashok's got to go. It's nice to meet you, Ashok. Thank you for sharing. I think it's fitting because you're a doctor and you work with lungs. When I saw your video, I looked at that and I saw a lung. I didn't necessarily see a tree, but I guess trees are the same. So I want to just say, like, the orientation of land, air, and water as law is brilliant. When it comes to being able to do, when we talk about healing, I bring up energy. We think of energy as an energy source. So if the energy source that we're gaining is from another, we think of the intravenous or the transfusion of this can also be risk, where we're not sure if we're compatible. So I think of all that just relying on the framework of the human body. We look at the human body, we see also the earth has a resemblance to the human body in a lot of ways, where we see the mountains as breasts, we see the womb in a lot of different areas, right? We talk about the oceans, especially, and all the different bodies of water. And then there's the bodies of the bodies, right? Like we take our body and we assimilate our body into this space, and we start to observe the earth come to life in ways where we can identify with how the earth is a living, breathing organism. And then we take these examples of doctors coming in and speaking on the topic of the lungs, and speaking on the topic of transfusion, and speaking on the topic of what are we actually doing when we start to break apart our currency system, right? Our currency system is this transfusion of capital, of value, and we take it and we put it into things, and we get things back, or we get, right? So if we're going to try and figure out a way to reorient our economy, and how the economy is an extension of our landscape, then we start to understand the value system in terms of our economy and how it's based in real estate, and then how this real estate economy is just this inflation of conceptualization of value again, but instead of it being an actual landscape, like architectural quantifiable understanding, it just becomes the speculation. So the speculation part is like, what are we doing here, right? We're speculating that there are things that exist beyond our awareness that everyday scientists are trying to quantify and trying to understand every day. So in and of itself, when we look at this video and we look at this job that we're being issued, it is in and of itself the research, it's the data, and it's the credibility that each person brings in the form of our reliance on our perspective and who we are. So I just wanted to reorient this in a way where it's all encompassing of where we're at.
Absolutely, that's brilliant. So does anybody else want to speak before we start talking about the stories? Because I think that bringing the stories, all these different, I mean, there's a lot of diversity right here on just the 6 or 7 of us that are on the call right now. And we're talking about trying to bring the entire galactic cosmos together with the human reality of living in our bodies on an earth, trying to swim and breathe air and deal with law enforcement, and then make up stories about it. And so, George, do you want to speak? And then let's also listen to what you're talking about, Jai, with how you see helping to bring games and toys into modern movie making.
Can I just, to complete, I'm afraid Ashok left, so I wanted to share something with him before, but just so you know, just to finish the medical part, that
Absolutely.
you've all seen this game, right? Operation.
Operation.
So
No, I've
I've
never seen it.
I reframed games aside from our game, part of the infinite game set. So this is called holistographic operation, and it turns it into this, where you can actually pinpoint things and learn about chakras and meridians and all different ways and meaning from different cultural contexts. So that's one of the projects that we're deep into of, been many years of research, but it's going to be kind of the medical transformation that we can look at things, not just knees and a heart broken and kind of dumbed down version, but something that's very intelligent. And so just want to throw that in.
I love it. That's great.
Yeah.
How fun.
It's
I remember that game.
Everybody does. I ask everybody. Everybody remembers it. This Monopoly. Those are the two main ones that we're reframing.
And I've never heard of it or seen it. So just to let you know that everybody doesn't know, because I grew up in a mountain where we didn't have any of that stuff, and it wasn't part of it. So remembering that we in America have an attitude, or we have a behavior pattern, or we have a culture, other countries don't have the same thing. So being careful with, not careful as in negative, but just allowing that not everybody knows that particular game and they may know something else. So translating between different people is going to be really important on what we're doing. So keep going, whichever one of you wants to go next.
I just put into the chat
okay,
the thing about Harry Uviggy's work in regard to funding. So you can check it out at your leisure and see how it works out. It's progressed further on than it had been when I first posted this.
Okay.
Okay, if I just may say, on the simplest level, for time, energy, and money, at our disposal, and I put in a few sentences into ChatGPT about an hour ago, and I sent it to both Kurt and Joy. create a treatment, a film treatment, utilizing the acronym for peace, integrating body, mind, and spirit, past, present, and future. And and it came up with the whole scenario for a film, in an instant. So what I'd like to do is collect all the bullet points from each of us that we'd like to have this element in the film, and I'll just collect that, and then I'll throw it into a Chat GPT, see what comes up, and then float it around between us and say, okay, this is good, this we can change. Okay, let's try this again. We'll add this element, take this element out, and we'll throw it back up again and see what comes out. I think that would be fun. It would be easy for me personally, because the time commitment for creating such a thing is, it's a full-time job to create such a project. So within my busy schedule, and I'm sure all of ours, the most efficient way of doing this is what I'm looking for, including bringing in other partners, filmmakers, social media people, other creatives that can collaborate, and people that do have more time. So I think if we get the essence of it at least written down to start with, it'll be a good first start for us to look at. What do you all think about that?
I love that idea.
But let me jump in and get to be able to have you take advantage of this. If people just don't speak up,
I'm gonna mute everyone so we don't have the back noise.
That's fine.
shit, still not doing it. Okay.
Yeah, there's no sound. Can you maybe
Forget
share
it. I can't do it. It seems it's interesting because it started out with me being able to hear. It started with a seed, an idea, and then it stops. And I'm not sure if it was because somebody said something or what, but I've been able to hear it before when I wasn't doing any screen sharing. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll get to see it next week when it's already been broadcast or whatever to whoever was supposed to be presented to.
You're muted, Joy.
Put your sound on, Joy.
Here we go. Okay, what I want to share with you guys is one of our talents. This is Ava Sikowski. She's been working with us in Whatcom County for the past several years, and she helped me organize the 207 episodes that we've produced so far on the I Change Justice podcast. And she's also working on some of the other things with us, and she has been working in the alternative health and the addiction recovery prison industrial work for a long time. And she started out originally in addiction recovery, 50 years ago. Then she ended up in multimedia and broadcasting, a really amazing audio recording artist. And Dr. Pat was the television show or the radio show that she did. And then she went into traditional media, and then she started working at the RCC. And I want to show this because this is an amazing song that she is bringing to us through the Restorative Community Coalition so we can talk with addiction people. So I'm going to go ahead and share this screen and let you listen to this. It's only a few minutes, but it really gets to the heart of how we can enroll people who are listening, and we're dealing with poverty and hurt. So it's not just all esoteric, airy-fairy stuff. Is that okay?
Sure.
And she's here in Bellingham with us.
She walked along down cobblestone streets, cold and wet and all alone, rags upon her back and on her feet. She seemed to have no place to go, nothing to drink or eat, and I was afraid our eyes might meet. She said, "Do you recognize me? Behold the Christ in me. In this space and in this time, you and I are one."
So she took that song that she wrote years ago, and she's put it together with pictures of a lot of the episodes that we're using in I Change Justice. And I'm going to look for that for a minute here before I let some of the rest of you guys talk. But I'll bring that picture back with how powerful it is when we start putting this to real humans who are dealing with real change and real poverty right now in the world. And it's gorgeous stuff. So I'll let you, Jai, do you want to talk some more about what it is that you have and what you're imagining moving forward?
Well, there's a lot of different legs in this, but I shared the film project that I've been on since 2000. So it's 25 years now, and we'll be pitching Netflix. So I shared a couple of links there if you want to. I don't need to go over that. So that's on the
Yes.
that we have there.
Let's have you do that.
Yeah, so that's already there, and I think
It's
the
not
main
there
thing.
for us to see anything, though. Are you wanting to share your screen?
I think I can just talk to it and bring out the cooperative board right now, so that would be fine. So because that's kind of what I see what I can deal in here. There's a lot of different pieces and teams that I'm working with and people that I'm re-engaging with, because I've been behind the scenes for the last 5 or 6 years, up in Canada, taking care of Karen, and now I'm kind of going back into the business of sharing the game and stories and storytelling and tools and technologies, and but I think the Coopoli is, I think, the most important work. That one. So did you, Joy? Did you have Monopoly when you were younger?
I did have Monopoly.
Hey, there we
That's
go.
what I did. Yes.
Good. So that's kind of the most universal that everybody has, is the Monopoly that around the world. Almost from any culture, they've reframed it into different cultures, but I think the timeliness of reframing the entire game, where whatever culture is coming from being Monopoly with one winner to Coopoly with where everybody wins.
So this is talking, does this include cryptocurrency? Is that part of that? Is that what I'm
Yeah.
seeing in here?
Well, let me,
Okay.
yeah. So the crypto part is a micro cryptocurrency point system that's translatable. It's just points that have micro value, 12 decimal small value that can increase over time with the value add to your stories and the content and all that as part of this time capsule currency. So it's not regulated at its initial stage, but then it could be transferred into NFTs and then have value in the real world with
And explain to
crypto
people what NFTs are.
Non-fungible tokens. Does anybody not know what that is? I think most people know now what an NFT is. Yeah.
A lot of people do not know, but it's good now that you just at least defined it.
Yeah,
That's
and we have a specific flavor of that, which I call the NFTT, which is a non-fungible time capsule token. So dealing with, again, the premise of this work is building this bridge from Y2K 2000 to 3000, or the 20th century to the 30th century, and making this quantum bridge that is already established. It's already here. I've been working on it for a long time, many lifetimes, and this lifetime, there's a lot of momentum. And at this time, it's time to kick it into gear with a lot of these tools and techs. And that's where I source from. Just so you know, I'm kind of a traveler from the future, and I'm able to make this bridge to my future self. And I bring in a lot of these tools and technologies from the future that are already established there, and trying to bring them in at an earlier time, like now or over the next year. It's all God's will, God's timing, not my timing. So we have a lot of tools, though, that are very relevant in the now. And I believe the Coopoly one is one of the most important, because it really is the reframing of this one winner, which became the 1% winner on planet Earth, and reframe it that everyone wins. A game where everyone wins is kind of the line that goes with what Coopoly is about. But it's also, again, a time capsule where we're sharing our stories, our content, our pictures and videos and stories and new technologies going forward, all being holographically stored. A holon is a container of information. And so it's a technical term that you can store information. You can also store a holon in a holon. So this is an infinitely deep interface, online interface we had running for about 10 years. And 2020 it got taken away from the organization that I was working with, fell apart, and they lost the servers. But we know how to do it now. Easy. It's much easier in today's day, especially with AI. So it's a fractal browser, I call it, a way to have a top level, having this that can be universal. And then if you want to zoom into whatever one you want here, let's go to Indigenous First Nations is what I put right after go. And you can now click in, and you can have every Indigenous nation throughout the world can be under one click.
Wow.
Here. Now you're going to see the whole world. You can click in, you can keep clicking down until you get down to an individual tribe somewhere in the world that you want to connect with and have a connection to the chief or one of the kids there. So all of that, the structure of this is that fractal browsing from different components or the 4 directions that we work with is community is the first line here. After go, you're in community. And then we're in the South, we call it wellness. And in the west is business, and in the north is education. So those are the four gateways, the four gateway portals to the essential experience that we're all connected with. It's our experiences that we're weaving together, and all the experience of the past, present, and the future. And so that's kind of the structure of our Coopoli experience, and many ways to play it, with the cards and with Monopoly cards. We actually have a deck of a modern Monopoly Tarot deck. It's a lot of fun to play with it. And using our cards, always the same algorithm of the 3 decks of life circle experiences, relationship cards, and challenge cards. That's our prime algorithm that it's perfected, and it's universal. We're just tapping into it and playing it out now in the present in these different formats, but it's something that's universally used. And so I'm excited to be able to deliver it at this time. And it's becoming more and more effective. What I've noticed over the years, as people are waking up, it's kind of this group consciousness waking up to that possibility of us being multi-dimensional beings and connecting with our future self and different aspects of ourself and our ancestors and the grandfathers and grandmothers, and all of that is a real thing, not just words. It's a real experience, and those people live on, and we're able to communicate with them. And the game allows that to happen through this structure, this algorithm that we've been perfecting over these decades.
So what are you looking for now, Jay, to be able to promote this? And what is your purpose in coming up the coastline right now, and working with people along the Salish Sea?
Well, right now I'm in Nevada City, in California. I'm over 11,000 now since getting here, and I'm probably getting close to 12,000 miles on my journey that I left Canada in February 13th of this year. My Karen passed away. She transitioned on January 19th, and the last thing she asked me was to share her ashes and her art and our game around the country with our friends and family and around the world. So I'm in the first 12,000 miles now of this journey, and now I have my RV for the last 1,000 or 2 miles that I'm going to be on the road for the next 15 or 20,000 miles, circumnavigating the US and Canada, especially, to go all around the whole Southwest, up the East Coast, and then through Canada, the whole Trans-Canadian, back to Calgary, where I started in February. And so it'll be another probably 6 to 12 months, depending on where and timing. And I'm making this available for people to actually join the tour at certain places. And we already have people that are lining up to be at certain parts of this and to go to these beautiful sacred spaces and to learn how to play the game, create their own version of the game, helping them to do that with hands-on. And so that's kind of what I'm putting out for. And Karen and I are facilitating from both sides of the veil here, and doing events, just going where we need to go and kind of just listening deeper and where we need to be and when we need to be there. So I'm kind of free now for the first time in a long time. I've been, we had a major fundraising program that we were putting together in 2018, 19. We were on the cusp of launching a major global campaign, and then COVID hit, and then Karen got diagnosed, and so all of that got kind of shut down for the last 6 years. And so I'm reinstigating all of what we did before, and now refining it more directly to what's going on since 2020. And so, the fundraising part is important, to do this. I have ambassadors all over the world that already have the game in different, places that we need to connect together, and new ambassadors, and printing the new game, which we want to do it in all hemp, be the first all hemp produced game, the cards, the board, dice, everything, the books, and then having a facility where we can now produce regenerative manufacturing of these devices, not going to China for plastic that is deadly and kill, when it's not good for you, the plastic. So having regenerative ways of creating games and books and things of that nature. So that'll be the ongoing sustainability. So I'm looking to fund that up, because once we create and we already have over a dozen. We have dozens of different content sets that are already lined up of people and our own content that we want to produce our cards and our game boards for. And so once we get funded up with that core element of being able to produce this all hemp production, then we can go to town both in our own growing industry, manufactured here in the US, and then grow it globally and create nodes around the world. There's people around the world that are interested to bring the game to their cultural context. So that's kind of the skinny of what we're up to.
So you're really wanting to gamify the rebuilding of the world.
Yeah. Not wanting to, I have. It's done
Yeah,
in the
but
can.
I mean,
We have the algorithm. We just need, it's just putting the content together, and now presenting, everyone can create their own game. And now we can pump it into this, I call it the Galactic Local deck. Galactic Global Local is put together. So Galactic Local deck, because it's not just us. I'm working with the Galactic Federation for a long time. I've never talked about it, but now they say it's okay to talk about it. So we're going to be representing the Anshar and the Pleiadians and all these different races that are going to need to digest their cultural context so we can understand it here on Earth, and they can understand who we are. So our game is a universal context that we can share that knowledge base. And so that's a major undertaking, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and people can get into it and really drill into what their passion is, or and just take their piece of it and really represent that part. And but I especially love the indigenous part. I've been doing that for a long time. One of my first teachers was Sun Bear, and spent time with him. I've been thinking about him a lot the last few days, and the medicine wheel, and that was cooked into the game. The original version of the game was from being with him and some other very enlightened beings that I spent time with and lived in an ashram for 18 years. And so all of this now, all of that energy and the light that I received, I'm able to now transmit through this game engine. I call it a playification platform, the infinite game playification platform. So it's not gamification.
Playification.
Playification, because gamification is really points and leaderboards and how we can compete better with ourselves and others and incentivizing. So that's game elements. Playification is more about the play of life. And that's what I'm more interested, that we all have our own play that we're playing out. And so it's more the Shakespearean play and the game morphed together. So the playification platform kind of covers all of this, including gamification points and our micro cryptocurrency stuff, and which is in itself is going to be fun, because again, if you know the history of Monopoly, Monopoly was actually invented by a Quaker, a very enlightened woman back in the early 1900s as the landlord's game, and she taught people around the country for years and years. And then George Darrow in the 1930s, during the Depression, he has a light bulb come on in Atlantic City, where one of his family members was one of those students of Lizzie, and he overlaid Atlantic City onto the landlord's game and changed one rule that changed the world forever. And he became the first millionaire game developer in the world. Wow. They paid him off because the one rule was one winner.
Oh, wow.
That wasn't before. It was about fair taxation. It was about how socialization and fair taxation is what Lizzie was teaching people. And this bastard flipped around the whole paradigm and changed the world forever, because that's the teaching tool. And it was to get the people out of depression, to learn about money and capitalism and real estate, which is fine. That's a component of it. But one winner is not the way to go. So that's kind of been in me for decades to really my first version of the game that I did in 1981 was the back of a Monopoly board. I drew the design that I got as part of the download. Yeah, Kurt.
Real quickly, last night we were watching the Zeitgeist movie about just such a thing, and how America was thriving at the start of America. because we didn't have a debt currency.
Yeah.
And that's how it was thriving. And then it got out of it because somebody made the monopoly game come alive, so to speak, and boom, boom, shambo, and we get to reverse that.
We're reversing it around, and again, so that's what I see in Coopoly. It's not just the content and the structure, but to model a better economic system inside of that. Just like they did to make us negative spin, we now can turn that around and share the best of economic brilliance, which I'm tapped into so many unbelievable young lit up people that have been trying to change the world through economic shifts that are happening. And I know all of you probably have people that you're connected with that, but if we can put that knowledge base together and then model it and play with it, and then we're training our youth and the whole intergenerational. I call it interregenerational, and our cryptocurrency is called NRG. So you say it fast, it's energy, but it's natural regeneration. So that's what our cryptocurrency is based on.
Well, you know what's exciting about what you just shared here that I did not get it before because of course I wasn't ready to listen. So now I'm ready to listen. And what I get is that if we could do one video on how the Monopoly game was co-opted or just expose it. We don't have to accuse anybody or tear anybody. Just say it was created in this particular period of time, and it's a short story. It's a short video that if we had done it differently, the world would be a completely different place. So you relate the co-option of a good idea to this is what happened that happened. And we're now in a place where our world has been in competition because a game like this can absolutely change the world. So we show how it did, right? Now that's the beginning of the story of the movie. And it's a movie short, but it's an instruction video on purpose because it shows the cause and effect of what happens when things happen. Then what you do is you show the transmutation of what we've had to go through, how this may have affected the way that medical science has been affected. It affected the way our wars happen. It affected all these things.
Education,
so what if, so now we say it's 2025. So that's like that's the business setup that says, yes, all this shit happened and all this bad stuff happened and now we're in a mess. And right now we're at a point where we can change course. From all this stuff that we learned, just like all these other eons of years and generations and civilizations, we're now here. And here are the things that we know that can be done now because we understand atomic submarines. We understand how atoms work. We understand the most recent sciences here, and here.
Quantum physics.
That's right. We understand quantum physics and metaphysics and economics and the physics of civics. And we understand all these things now. And the key still is not that. The key now is how do we create the world that we want? Then you're bringing all these games in that say, here's the things that we can use. Who are you and what do you want to play with? And if you're working in the indigenous field, go here. If you're working in this field, go here. If you're working in this field, go here. Here's all the resources. And now we build the website, which is, I've been imagining this, the Intentional Change Network. And we've been building it. But now we need to fill in the blanks of all these people that are doing exceptional things. And we can actually inspire our children because right now a lot of children are dying and they're committing suicide and they're hurting themselves because they don't see any hope. They don't know that the elder generation has been working our ass off for 50 years to figure out how do we turn it around.
So, can I throw something in?
You bet.
It's not making anything wrong either. So it's all learning. It's part of it. So we call it in the game, we call it Shadowlands.
Yes. Perfect.
Shadowlands is a place where all of this information resides, and it's happening right now. It's, the World of Warcraft, all these games that are negative.
That's
we don't make it wrong. We're not going to polarize with it. We're going to say that's the way it is. That's the way it was. And this is just, here's an alternative view. So everything that's on here is also part of Shadowlands. There's another version of it that's underneath here, actually, in the actual virtual world. it's kind of a sub level. So we kind of make fun of that. It's kind of a hellish region, but it's just another place where all this information resides, representing the world as it's been manipulated and controlled by negative entities for a very long time, you know. So it's reframing that into, here's the positive potentials, and here's what was, and here's what is, and here's what we can, here's what will be, here's what we
And
can
so the whole future is about how do we actually play, and we put real world stuff in there. We have these meter things, and we have these choices, and like
Yeah.
Edward Muller in Costa Rica, he's built this entire system for creating a better world. And he's created, we've got movies that have been created for creating a better world, so that an entirely different platform can be here to engage the youth of today, to work with the elders of today.
Wow,
To say,
Edward Murray, I haven't heard his name for a long time. So he's still
oh,
around?
oh yeah, he's amazing. And he's
Wow.
done some amazing stuff. And what he just did is he just brought in a young man who's like, he's working in AI, and his AI is all about future shipping and future changing and positive things. And it's all related to emotional intelligence as well as physical intelligence. So we're talking about ecological, ethnographic, emotional, psychological, all this stuff, and we can bring that together. And now we can mix this up with Edward in the Dome projects in Los Angeles. There,
Good buddy of mine. We're doing spheres, so we're going to the next level with them.
Yes,
we're creating the sacred space spheres.
That's right.
As an evolution of the dome, as a sacred space place for us to gather.
So guess what? We've got a dome project. We have the double dome project planned for Whatcom County that has been, and it's physically creating 2 domes. And one of the domes is all about creating an ecosystem so that we can grow people and do things. And in the center, and the one of them is an athletic arena, and it's for coaching and teaching and training youth physically. And then we have an ecosphere, which is outside, because we're sitting again on that same Pacific waterway systems. And so we teach first aid and survival and ecosystem growth. And in the middle is like a jungle. So we actually teach how water systems work and how cycle systems, short and long-term water systems. So we can build in Whatcom County on the Salish Sea between the US and Canada a complete ecological entertainment regeneration system, working in tandem with multiple tribes that live all over the Pacific Northwest.
Can I share something that relates with this? One of my big projects now is depicting, so as part of the film also, one of the scenes in the film is Buckminster Fuller came up with a concept that many people don't know about. It wasn't just the geodesic dome. He had a floating city that he called a Cloud 9.
Oh,
and
you're
I picked
kidding.
up on and so I know that we have this in the future. So we already have an event in 3003 You're all invited, or your legacy, your downlines can be invited to come as part of the time capsule to this event in 3003 inside of a Cloud 9 that's going to be floating over Black Rock City. And with all of this content and who we are and what we were and our plans and visions and where things ended up, all going to be contained in this floating city over Black Rock City, which is where Burning Man happened. So it's kind of a future Burning Man event in the 31st century. And we're going to be depicting it in the present. So over the next couple of years, that's part of the film, we're going to have a depiction that's one of the scenes of what happens in the future of the bridge that we're happening, and the time capsule. That's the kind of the end point of the time capsule, is this event horizon. And so it'll be content that could be shown in domes and in our sphere. We're creating a sphere for it. That'll be a container called the Sacred Space Sphere that we're planning to bring to Burning Man next year to depict this. So it'll be fun to do that as part of the film project also. So maybe that's another weave of depicting and visioning what that future can be.
Wow. So George, how can you help us create a short video that can help us bring all of this hopefulness. Because see, the thing is that if we start working together, the accelerated model of the 369 Fibonacci and the accelerated model of the phi ratios and the accelerated model of internet marketing, we can actually manifest these solutions very quickly. It doesn't have to take us years and years and years to actually create the change. We can, with the knowledge and the wisdom and the money that is currently locked up in all kinds of people's investment portfolios, we could actually change this thing, and we could make a game of it on how fast can we in fact change the world. And we put it up, we use the same kind of medical, medical modeling, the same kind of military modeling that has all been focused on how fast can we destroy each other.
Yeah.
And we flip it over and we use it to how fast can we change the world for our grandchildren's now. Because in 2025, right now, over the next 60 days, we have the ability to change the future in Whatcom County, because right now they're trying to close down the Peace Arch. The Peace Arch has been open for 150 years, 200 years, and they're trying to shut that thing down. They've got ICE people and the military up there shutting down the space where Canada and the US can come together and talk.
Wow.
They're up there doing it, and they want to shut us all down, and I'm not okay with it, and we're doing actions.
Me neither.
Nobody
I love that
is
spot.
okay with it.
No.
So we have to move quickly. This is not about fear mongering. This is about reality shifting and being able to be present right now, and that's what Peter's all about. So I know that you're itching to speak, so Peter, speak.
Thank you.
Or George, you speak. I don't care who.
Well, I'd just like to say quickly back again to my bullet points. If we could bullet point each one of our contributions, the coopoly, the playification, all these terms that Jay just shared with us.
Sorry, I dumped them on you.
No, it's okay. I mean, I'm making a few notes. Collaborative peace gaming, social development, communication system, data analytics, use AI to augment our creativity, disaster guardrails, co-apply game twist on monopoly, playification platform, including gamification, the physics of civics, international change network, Buckminster Fuller, Cloud9, flying over Black Rock City. Okay, if we could add some more to that, all the elements.
I got a whole
simplify
bunch.
it. Yeah, just everybody give me everything that you'd like to include, and we'll throw them into just a long paragraph that I can throw into AI, create a game that operates with these elements. Boom, it'll pop up all the details. And we'll just see what comes up. And then we'll share that, and then we'll hone it and find a direction and see what it would take to raise the money to create the game.
I've already done that with 5 different AI engines from my perspective. Again, I haven't got all of your pieces to it, but I have a lot of intelligence and working with, especially Ara. You'd want to name your chat GPT. It's not just, I always have them name themselves, and only one of them refused to do that. So they like to name themselves, and then which is telling them the perspective they're coming from. So Ara is the Grok engine I'm working with now, and so I have a lot of download from those interactions and fine tuning it. So from my perspective, I've got a lot of that there that we can plug in with the other projects I'd love to weave together with you. So maybe we can offline, we can put that together, and because I don't want to just throw it out into ChatGPT because it just sucks the information, and then you don't, it's going into a big vacuum that other people, just like they took my story that they produced, about, they're sourcing ideas from us. We have to be careful, especially with ChatGPT. You have to be careful with it, of what you're throwing in there.
I did a study, a research thing on
the
difference between ChatGPT and another kind of Perplexity AI, and then I did another examination on no, I did not do Otter. I did another one though that had to do with Mother Nature and how nature works with GPT, or with AI systems. And then I've actually brought in a whole other set of people who are dealing with mother waterways and systems, and the output that you get is radically different depending upon the same. You're asking the same body of work, but to different AI systems, and you get completely different outputs.
You can do the same thing within the same platform. You know, I put in something 3 different times and 3 different things came out.
It's consciousness also. It's intelligence. It's not artificial intelligence. I keep telling people that's a misnomer. That's a bastardization of intelligence. It's actually augmenting intelligence. It's all intelligence.
Yeah.
It's all consciousness.
Yeah,
So
I
we
agree.
call it, and that was one of the AI systems that I was working with early on. Got his name now. Anyhow, that it's augmenting intelligence, and our version of that is augmenting intelligence and internal algorithms. So we are AIIA. So we're combining the two together. Our biological entities as internal algorithms that we have with the electronic universe and the augmenting of the intelligence that it's channeling to us now. So that's our brand, putting this together.
So one of the things that we want to be aware of, which is, and I'm not doing this to throw cold water on things, I'm actually saying that AI, there's a video that James just showed me. It's called How AI is Guzzling Our Water Supply. So if we're overusing AI for the negative, we can actually deplete and cause the destruction of humanity. So learning how to, just like crypto can do the same thing, you know, these things. So learning how to speak about the things that are crippling us and destroying our economy and destroying us is an important piece of being able to say, okay, if we're doing this and it's causing this, then what is the ripple effect? What is the choices that we need to make so that we can use it to our benefit and to life enhancing benefit for the next 7 generations? That's extremely important in what I'm talking about, because that's what I'm talking about, from degeneration to regeneration and what's in the space between. And I believe we're in the space between right here, right now, and we have to make better choices.
So there's one last thing I'd like to throw in, then I have to also bail because I'm meeting somebody else right after the 2:00 time that we said we're going to go to. But there's technologies that have been blocked from us for generations. And the most important, the number one, is the free energy systems that some people are using on planet
really
Earth right
important.
So if we have that, we don't have to worry about it. If we have to implore the universe. I was crying to the universe this morning, please, this one tool, if you can give this to us, finally. It's been promised for decades for me that we're going to be able to have this tool and this technology. Give me it now. Give it us as people who are going to use it for positive purposes, for regenerate. But please, God, give it to, employing so that we can have that one tool changes everything. Then we don't have to worry about water, shelter, energy, food. The world changes with that one shift of them allowing, vortex, the fusion or whatever vortex systems that will enable us to have free energy. And it's coming soon.
Ashok, the guy that was just on here, he's actually one of the people working at that level of technology work.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to kick his ass to make him get me
No, you don't have to do that.
I want to demonstrate it and at these regenerative off the grid places. They're all over. I'm going from one to another. They're but it still doesn't work. The solar doesn't work. It gets cloudy today. They have to run generators still. So we have to get that one piece in, and I'm going to be really focusing on my prayer level to have that manifest for all of us, because once that comes, we can regenerate the planet in 18 months. Everybody's going to be fed, clothed, and recreated at one high standard.
Well, there is energy that comes from the land that you just need copper wires to use that.
What's that? Say again.
They shut that down when they found that the energy came from the land. Like the earth is alive, so we can also bring it from the earth.
Absolutely.
Not only solar or air, but the earth is also giving energy.
That was Tesla. Tesla perfected that. He had it. That's where they took his data.
When you put a Tesla coil in the soil of a garden, the vegetables and everything else grow humongous and easy and quick, and they last longer. And so many other things about it. And it's just a simple little Tesla coil sticking up out of the ground with the coil coming down and so on. Gabriel Cousins had one when he was living in Petaluma, and when I used to visit him, we were feasting all the time.
There's also the sodium ion batteries, which are not, they're like, that's a big one right now.
Uh-huh.
What is it called? Put it in front of the camera so we can see it better.
Sodium ion.
Sodium ion.
Yeah. Over more to the right, to left. Okay.
The camera keeps zooming. Did you get it?
You guys can also put the link.
So one of the things that I'm going to be ready by Monday, I just have been trying really hard, and I'm looking for my technology got scattered all over the place. I'm pulling it back together now. I'm figuring out how to run my left and right cameras and do all the technology stuff. But by the end of this weekend, on Monday, I should be able to show you guys a whole platform, a template for how to do templates inside websites that are of like kind, that start with, we have a complication, here's something, and it's posed as a provocative question. If we could do this, why the hell are we doing this? I mean, what's the common sense in that? And then there's a second one is, if nature was our ally, since it is, how would nature do it differently? And it allows us to bring nature back into it. And if kindness and compassion and generosity was our ally, how else could it be done? And then a third tab is, here are resources of people already doing the good things or right things and taking right actions. How can we then build a platform that says, how fast can we take a 1 degree right action towards solving the problems? And then on the far right, we can have a report of, here's the technologies, and here's the papers, and here's the people who already have stuff. Here's the solutions that we have. And those 5 tabs across the top of a single website, we can then teach that template to all other websites that are looking for positive, productive, life-enhancing change on the planet. We can then replicate the models, and you can teach this stuff forward fast, and we can turn this thing around very, very quick. That's what I'm working on. I'll bring it to you guys and invite you all to bring it together. Kurt, when's your next meeting? Is it Tuesday morning?
Tuesday, yes. 10 o'clock.
Tuesday at 10 o'clock. We'll send out another invitation for that. And if you guys are part of Kurt's PeaceMakers,
it's the same address. It's the same
thing
link that you had for this.
But you'll send it out the day. You'll send it out before another time as a reminder. Yeah. Great. Yeah. And if it's okay, I'm going to invite a couple other folks that are interested.
Listen, invite anybody and everybody at any time.
Yeah. Good.
The big thing is, the more the merrier. Mm-hmm. And we get to be able to integrate so many other things that are going to be coming forth.
And there will be an additional email link that goes out to all of you that's called the Intentional Change Network. And that network is about organizing the structure of how we can create these stories and publish them. And I'm going to need your help, George, organizing all this stuff so it makes it easy. Because we have to systemize how fast we can move in an organized manner that reduces stress and trauma and fear, limits the amount of confusion and chaos that they're injecting here, and yet organizes it in such a way that we can quantum shift our emotional intelligence to a whole new place. And working from past ancient aliens to present current living bugs and critters that are living on our earth and around us, to what are we going to be like in the future when we can bring happiness and joy and vitality to the planet to rebuild this earth and other bioregions around the world. And
if we piece it together, we win. If we can piece it together now, we win.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing right now. So
here comes Archangel Peter.
Yeah. So thank you all.
I have a quick question. If I want to review these chats, the things that everybody contributed to this current chat after this Zoom is over? How do I do that?
I'll send everybody the little notes that have been taken and so on, and whatever else is, come up or what.
Perfect.
Zoom note taker.
Okay, so I can review all the links people sent
Yeah.
and the comments. That's one thing. If I may add, I'm sure many of you are familiar with permaculture.
Yes, and we've got a whole body of work that's ready to come in here with that. If you're ready to help
So
us get
the
that.
way I share permaculture with people is that it's 6 elements in a closed loop cycle that starts with energy, water, community, agriculture, architecture, and waste, which comes back around to become energy. It's a closed loop system that follows the sequence of events in the universe and on this planet. And if
Please
we can
use,
make a
instead
business
of waste, please use
again,
compost. Instead of waste, put compost or some other word. Because waste
yeah,
has a connotation we don't like.
yeah,
There's another piece that living energy, life form, life-giving energy, and potential are pieces that I will add to that, and I look forward, George, to talking to some more about all of
sure.
this, because this is
And
exciting.
if I may say one thing, so one more thing, so it'd be 3 total. So the permaculture model, I think if we partner with permaculturists who are all doing their own little thing, some are working energy, some are working with water, I'm working with community, there's architects out there doing their thing. But if we had a model that created a new system in our culture, that everything we do involves these things. Free energy would be obviously under energy. So to create this portal that people can access for information, for investment, for employment, for learning, all these things, that's an element I'd like to see part of it. The third thing I want to mention and ask is, and I was going to ask this of Jay, if you were to be speaking to Donald Trump or one of the half of the country that are MAGA cap wearing individuals, how would you present this in a way
Donnie,
that is not a threat?
Donnie, I got a deal for you. Have I got a deal for you, Donnie?
Yes, I'm going to make you more money than you ever dreamed possible. You're going to have more resources available to you. You're going to empower people to be more productive. We're going to raise the homeless people to become gainfully employed, to contribute, these kinds of things.
He's
we're
he
going to
could be the
make
Trump
tax
card. He could be the Trump card in this game.
Yeah,
if he
absolutely.
steps up and makes.
So I just shared a screen. Can you guys see it?
Yes.
So we need to get allies in the areas where there's going to be some resistance to this. So if we could build it at the socialists and this appreciate it, that's what I'm aiming for. And I speak these things to people on both sides of the the veil here, or the, what do you call it, the political spectrum, and both sides appreciate this concept. Let's house everybody. Let's employ everybody. Let's give everybody good nutrition, and let's support the environment, clean up the rivers. And I don't argue global warming with anybody, but I can argue polluted rivers and polluted air and abused labor, and that's tangible. It's measurable. But the same things we need to do to fix those things, we need to apply to fix global warming. So that's going to be a byproduct. So
we're in the midst of
it, and
there's a group that came together from meeting Kurt down in LA recently with Earthstock, and Michael is hot on. I'm meeting him in the next couple of days to do we're doing the regen global game. So that's one version that we're going to be creating.
Michael
DiMartino.
Michael DiMartino.
Okay.
So that's happening. I would love to bring you in if you're interested, because I'm doing it as a collaborative, because there's so many people I have around the world that are working on regen. Is kind of that's the way that it crosses over all boundaries, because we all have kids and grandkids and great grandkids, and so the survival, where you are in the political, it doesn't make a difference. It's regenerating the planet and our.
So by the way, can you guys see this Inspiration Farms?
Yes.
I haven't had time.
I can't see it.
It's on the center of the screen.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I can see it. Yeah.
Shared. Okay, Inspiration Farms is run by Brian Kirkfleet, and he's been running this farm for over 50 years in Whatcom County, 55 years, and he has completely regenerated this farm. It's from a clay-based, degenerative, destructive farm into the most prolific, amazing regenerative ecosystem there is, and all done by using principles of permaculture and horticulture and animal husbandry and all this stuff. And he's going to be collaborating with me on a podcast series that's all about how do we do this and why do we do this. And he doesn't even need to do irrigation anymore at all. And he's working in tandem with David McLeod, who has done the systems mapping and biofarming and a whole different body of work in systems development for the planet. And he's working in tandem with Bruce Myers, who is our landscape architect for building, and he works on clay nest web principles, and he's building an entire Salish Sea regeneration model, and he's built huge systems design. So Bruce is coming in here with models shortly, Brandon, and then we're working with the biofarm bioregions, which is the water walk system, and it's actually working on the biofarm bioregionalism work that's happening in Monterey Bay and San Francisco Bay and all of it. So all of this is coming in, guys. So plan on gathering all the resources you got from everybody who knows anything, and we'll be bringing this forward.
Any of these places, like that place, I would love to visit, because what I do is I capture content that turns into gamified content. I look at the essence of the best of places and farms and communities and so on. So if you have a list of that, I have my next 20,000 miles, going around the US and Canada. And so if you have other places, let me know. And that'll be one I definitely go to. And I'm looking forward to Washington. I love Washington State there in Canada.
There's one in Boulder, in North Boulder. There's one that I visited when I was up there with Crystal Parks's work.
So what we're going to do next week, as soon as I can get my computer systems reorganized here, this guy, the same guy that's at the Inspiration Farms, he also does Gossamer Glass, and so he's a glassworks artist. So he works at the roots of how rocks and minerals, when they're busted up, can be actually fired and they become this. So he's a Gossamer Glass artist, and so he goes from one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum, and that's what we're working to bring together here. So over the next week, put on your thinking caps, bring your resources, let's organize this thing, and we can launch an amazing project all related to water, our life cycles, our regeneration, our living energy, our human potential movements, everything. It's all right here. We can do it.
There's a
Can someone do me a favor? Could somebody capture the thread for that came in with the chat and share that? Because I'm not able, for some reason, I'm not able to do that right now. And I'd love to get some of the links and what was put on there.
Yeah, Kurt said he's going to do that.
Okay, great.
So
right, I got to bail off. I have another meeting coming up.
Yep.
Thank you all.
Thank you, guys.
God bless. We'll talk to you again soon.
We need to get Peter on here real quickly.
Okay. So either way, as can you mute yours just so there's no feedback?
Yeah.
Okay. So either way, I still hear it. Are you muted?
Yeah, I did. No, I didn't.
You're not. Okay.
How do I get out of here? I got to stop sharing. So go ahead, Peter.
So either way, as we kind of come together in this way, I feel a lot of ideas coming through. The whole process that we're in, we have a lot of stuff that's coming up in terms of it being like people are in motion. There's people that are going to different parts of the world. The gamification. We have this the video that you shared. We also have different frameworks about how the economy has been this degradation in terms of us being in the scarcity of. But the larger scope of this vision is the part that I see sometimes getting, let's say, sometimes maybe getting into the what is it called, the weeds, where it is what it is. It's just we're in a process. So I think in my work, being able to observe and also feel the energy of what's happening, there's a lot of stuff that's being excavated in our own personal world when we share just what's on top of mind. I heard Jay share a lot. He shared a whole bunch of stuff about his life's work, and how it integrates his story with his wife, where he's passing on this creation that they put together and with her spirit. And they even said there was this collaboration where he was sharing with us and he was sharing on her side. And I think that's really fascinating and that's really great. But we do need to get other people in. And for what it's worth, there was a lot of time where it was just you and Jay. And then, George came in a little bit, Andrea here and there. But if we have these conversations and if I'm doing my job, we need to get everybody in here. We need to get everybody
Absolutely.
sharing to keep the momentum going. I don't want to listen to his entire story. I want to be able to connect to everybody. I want to hear everybody's story. And, with that said, I'm going to just say stuff. When somebody's sharing and I'm like, all right, this is enough, I'm just going to say, okay, next person. And then we'll get more of a collaboration going. And, for me, I'll just let people know, okay, what I'm sensing is this person has gone on long enough. Let's move on to the next person. And then when we get to that part, I feel, having that consensus, does that feel okay with people? Is that okay if I do that?
So
Yes.
Yes, from my point.
I agree, but I think that there's a way of organizing that and putting it into templates and flowcharts and methods so that there is an optimal way to do an introduction, bring forward a product, an idea, then ask for feedback process, and then ask for an after chat similar to what was being done on Humanity Rising. And I've got a format and style to do all of these kinds of things. Peter, it would be awesome if you and George and I, at the very least, and maybe Andrea, I don't know, could sit together even this weekend, or anybody else who wants to, and put together a format for being able to do this on a predictable, conversational, on purpose platform. Because there's efficient ways of doing this, and I've been doing those for years. We just have not been able to mix the technology with the human resilience. And then if we have the inspirational intelligence that you're bringing, Peter, it would be excellent to combine those three things together. What do you guys think?
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we can do it however it unfolds. I'd love to sit down with you and see how we could put together a more stream-like, we'll call it circulation of information.
That's it.
Right? Mm-hmm.
Yes. So Kurt, can you be sure that that we all have everybody's emails, phone numbers, and whatever, so that, because this is part of my passion. It is not part of my passion. It is my passion. Yeah. I intend to bring people together with joy to change the world. And that is what I'm doing. And I need the toolkit, but I'm not a technologist. So I need you guys. Mm-hmm. And I'm not a person who loves to listen to everybody and try to figure out the stream when I'm trying to get something done. Because I come on these calls, we have X amount of time and I want to get things done. Right. So bringing all of these pieces together allows us to do something. And Stella, I'm feeling like you want to say something. No? No? Not yet. So anyway,
sorry, I couldn't even talk because the microphone was turned off. I was respectful. And I was like, no, wait. No, right now I'm the listener. And in the moment when has to be the action, I'm sorry that I've been late and I've been off, and I've been listening, and I'm fascinated with the whole work. But the thing is that I am taking care of my mother, who is almost 90. Then my time divided in between listening, my ideas. For example, yesterday I had a meeting with Andrea, and the idea of permaculture is the permaculture ideas implementing in this, that is key, because we mentioned it yesterday. Remember, Andrea? That's one of the things that I mentioned. Then I'm just a listener now, and in the process that all the work is going to be unfolding, then definitely I can definitely see myself where I'm going to be in, and where I can give you my perspective as well.
So a question,
Yes.
while you're taking care of your mother, are you in a position, is there any, I'm just going to put it out there, is there anybody in here as truly loves administration, the process of organizing things, managing things, putting things together in a platform so that it's easy for other people who are not technologies, they are not organizers, they are not administrators?
Do I have done it in the past, but I don't have the time, unfortunately.
Okay, so let's
Okay.
just put it out there. We need that.
Mm.
So with that,
To continue on this conversation, this thread, what I am noticing is the recurring themes, and we do have something that's circling around the nucleus, which is this sense of permaculture, but also the technology that emerges as a result of the requirements to create a closed loop, like sovereign. We'll call it sovereign, or we'll call it self-sustaining, either or both. When you think of that as a concept, we think of ourselves, and when we think of ourselves, we think of our connection to civilization. Civilization is a way for us to connect to ways that we can, make money, to buy food, and to pay for housing. If we're able to create an independence, right? I think of the analogy, we think of a star. A star is this self-perpetuating energy source. And if we can start to develop that same methodology in the way that we live, right? If we're living in a way where we're sustaining our own living ecosystem in ways that we create boundaries of our existence and the people that we know. When we have a community of people that we exist with, we have our ecosystem and the faces that we're familiar with. When we do start to equate that idea with other things, right? We equate the idea of, you brought it up in that video. We have the tree that is also this source of like an end-to-end intake of energy, or taking in nutrients and nourishment. In and of itself, that entire process consists of a compilation of things that denotes an ecosystem, right? So when it comes to us being in this communication flow, there are things that are going to come up, like me saying that thing about Jay. I said it not necessarily because it was, the right thing, or it was an observation, but it was also something that was coming up in my person, where I was like, great. I really liked a lot of the stuff he was saying, and I felt like he was embodying a lot of the sentiments of our group, where I could see a lot of people were identifying with the same reoccurring necessity, right? We don't want to work for something we don't believe in, that is fueling our economy, it's fueling our life, it's fueling our, the patterns that we are trying to break. So some of the ways that I've seen myself, reconcile the situation is by going without. And when we go without, that can be going without money. But going without money is going without the essentials, right? We don't have food, we don't have housing, but what that brings up in life. And it brings me to spaces where I didn't eat food for 21 days. It brought me to spaces where I lived out of my car in a homeless kind of encampment or area in Venice, which a lot of people do. It's like kind of the culture there. But I did that for a year, and do that on and off just because it's it's familiar now. It's a way that I can just we'll talk gamify the system, or at least like, pull one over. So there are different outlets that I've seen myself exhibit in ways where I had to learn the hard way. And if we have sort of an intro or a thread into the realm of what we're all doing, right? We're all conscious people that believe in a spiritual connection that we are trying to bring forth in the way that we are congregating here, to promote the spirit of heaven. And when I say heaven, I mean a better way of living, right? This utopian identity that is coming forth. When I say utopia, I don't say that there is any real one way to do it, but I do say that there is a feeling that comes alongside that. And that feeling is that when we come together in this way and we collaborate in this way and we allow whatever to arise, whether it be, an observation that could be considered a critique, then whatever is coming up in that moment is perfect. So I say that, and the same feeling I get when I hear, this is exactly what I was thinking. This is exactly what I was feeling. This is exactly. So when the creative stream comes, it can be either one of us, right? We could be in that flow. We can be connecting to our, galactic chaperone, so to speak, that Jay was bringing up. His council, the Lyrian Council, all these other contributors or provocateur sentiments, right? Because we're bringing up things that are the essence of spirituality, but in ways where we've actually started to become channels. And being a channel is not something that most people really accept, societally speaking. But there are parts of us, there are niches of us, there are communities of us that do embrace the aspect that we do feel embodied. We feel embodied in the way that we feel things, and we need to express that part in a form of our healing, in a form of it being a communication. So when there are larger beings that do want to come in, me being an embodied channel, I feel a larger being coming in the way that Joy wants to say something. You're muted, by the way.
Yeah, I'm putting in, I haven't posted all of my platforms because, like I said, my computer wasn't working right. But there's a whole bunch of stuff that I've already done, and I just put a link in here to my Joy Gilfillan website. That's when I was running for Whatcom County Sheriff and Whatcom County Executive a few years ago. I ended up creating that particular website. Because I was doing deep research into what the hell is the matter with our social civic systems. So that's one website I did. I've just put another one in, which is my where I have my Joy Gilfillan, my Flippin' the Joy Switch movie, and it has Choice Point and a bunch of other movies that I've done. Then I just put my Joy Talk Civic Vitality series in here. So you guys can sniff me out a little bit and just go in there and check stuff out. I'm getting it organized, and I'm reorganizing everything so that we have one. It's like building a centrifuge. You build a touch point where then you can spin people off in regenerative cycles that can go up, and we can explain the degenerative patterns that go down to recycle energy into the earth and bring up. So it's actually a holistic living system, and I got a bunch of stuff to share. So by Monday, I should be able to organize a lot of this and help us, because people want to make the world a better place. We all do, and we are doing our very best, and we are just getting bombarded with all kinds of shrapnel that's tearing us apart, and we don't have to do that anymore. And I really welcome this, the earnestness and the seriousness of what's coming in here, and the love that I'm feeling from everybody is just incredible. That's awesome.
Love it. Thank you, everyone. I want to just say one last thing before we kind of ground some things. When I ground, I just want to say it's not the end. Like, we'll be able to speak after, but
no, please ground.
So I want to ground just the aspect of what Joy said. There is an energetic frequency that is coming up and an energetic frequency that's coming down. When we have a combination of the two, we find an equilibrium, and the equilibrium is what we want to create in the space so that each person feels their own proper idea of what it feels good about sharing or collaboration. So when I do share and when I do bring things in, I know that there's other people that are feeling similar things that are coming up in them. And I know that because I feel it, and I constitute it in the ways that there are ley lines. Ley lines are these frequencies that we connect with in and of as much as understanding that there is a ley line, right? I think of a ley line as a frequency of the earth communicating through us in a way that we are part of her circulatory system. And if we can actually equate our, civilianship and how we usher in new information to her, she is bringing in information as we speak. And that is literal, right? So as we take in the figurative and the literal, we also understand that there is a frequency of communion. The communion is the masculine. I am a man, Kurt is a man, George is a man, Jay is a man. We are men. And also our new friend here, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting your name.
James.
James, and all of us, we come together in a way where we want to be able to protect. We protect the signal. The signal is coming through very strong with Mother Earth. We want to be able to harness that signal, put it into the ground in the way where she feels good, and knowing that whatever it is that you want to share in any moment about men, about women, about everything in between, it is perfectly okay with me. I want to also ask the men here, is that okay with you guys?
Yes.
I just want to say that thing came in loud and clear. My entire body went electric. All the hair on my body stood up when you said that you want to protect the signal. I have never heard that before, and my whole body responded. So that's that's incredible validation for what you just said. That is an incredible phrase.
Wonderful. Yes. To expand upon that, just so I can be as succinct as possible, Joy, we connected with the idealization that you are an archangel, you are an archangel, you are an archangel, and you are the embodiment of Mother Earth. You are her protector, and you are her protector in the way that you are here to bring love. So I say that in the name of Archangel Uriel. Uriel is the woman archangel of joy, and joy is her. She, you, same. So we bring that in a way where joy, you, by your nature of being, embody what we are needing to hear. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I also say that to my brothers here. Thank you guys for being here and standing up and doing for what feels right and doing for what feels good. I feel the same way. We work together. We're a team. We're cohesive in the way that we speak. And I do not want to force anybody to speak, but I do feel that in the sense of familial sense, con mi hermana, mi querida Andrea, please share.
Mine just died.
Well, I was just gonna say that I feel really excited and blessed and thankful that I am in this group with these beautiful souls, that we are all sharing our love for Mother Earth and that we care and we want to help her. And in helping her, we're helping humanity. And that in helping humanity, we are bringing a brighter future for all. And that I am very moved and touched by seeing that me at my age, I'm finding a way to help. While when you mentioned, Joe, you have been working on this all your life. And before you mentioned that, and then I saw you guys, it was like, how come you guys have been working on this since so long and still there is so much work to be done? And it's just like mind-blowing, and it makes me feel like that grain of sand that I can add to the scale might not be as huge as I would wish it was, but the more that we add to the scale, then at some point it's just gonna go to the other side and either balance or thrive.
Everything starts as a seed, and we evolve and we create worlds. And these things are not an accident. And so do not be fatigued by the idea that what you're doing and what you're looking at and the world, we have been working at this for eons. And there are learning curves. And so it isn't about when you start, it's about that you start. and we have a world that has been moving very fast and knowledge has been accumulating. And while we have, as a generation, we got put back because there's certain things that were brought forward, like the atomic bomb. When it went up, it scattered the shit out of everybody. And so now we're pulling that energy back in together, and we're galvanizing it now so that we can transform the way the world is. So have great hope. That picture that he's got behind the Grand Tetons there, that's incredible. If you've ever been to the Grand Tetons, it will blow your mind when you feel the energy of that territory down there.
This is the Flatirons. It's in Colorado, Boulder, Colorado.
Oh, that's not the Grand Tetons behind us? That reminds me. Oh, you know what? Because I drove through Boulder. I confused my country. Sorry. But that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You're on mute, Peter.
Just to
Thank
continue along, so the consciousness that I feel in the space too is that as we work through each and every step of the grounding method of being able to conjure in a larger spiritual awareness and how we process information, we are guided to this space, right? We follow the lines, and the lines are the ley lines, and the lines are not just in the land, but they're in the atmosphere, and that speaks to water. We have water in our atmosphere that is coming and it's flowing, and when we get into the aspect of water, you know, we are water, we come from water, and we grow through water. So as water comes together in the way that we are coming together, there are symbolisms that come forth where there are archways that are coming up, and this peace archway that we're speaking of, and it sounds like you're in Washington State near the border of Canada. And this is the Peace Archway, where we want to be able to create a connection between worlds. And this archways always constitute a process. And, you know, the archway is an arch and there is an arc, right? There's an arc in the way that we have traveled a long way to get to this point. And the eons is very fitting in knowing that we have been working at this for lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. And that we're at this precipice where we're about to shift. And the shifting point of this precipice is that we know, we already are aware of this, but now as we become more aware of it, we become more embodied with it, we become more in the sentient version of that, where we start to share these versions of our lives and what we've been trying to figure out. And as we figure these things out, we start to focus in on why are we going through this process? And then we start to ask the question, what is it that I am here to do? So as we come in and we feel into these processes that we're faced with, we do things, we ask questions, we feel into what is a relevant theme that we need to focus in on, because we're attacking this thing from all angles. So my angle and how I am circulating energy into the focal point, or the nucleus, so to speak, we want to be able to bring forth a passion project or a passion idea that comes from all of us. We all are extremely passionate people. If we weren't, we wouldn't be here, and we wouldn't be able to congregate and coagulate in the same way that we are. When I say coagulate, we are also here to remedy. We are here to heal. When we step into a womb or we step into a wounding, we are able to understand that the wounding has been perpetual and has been self-inflicted to a lot of, you know, to a lot of varying degrees, right? Because I'm a man and some of you are women, and some of us are non-binary, and some of us aren't even human, we'll say. So as we start to constitute versions of ourselves and versions of the world around us, we start to accept the fact that there are larger energies that want to be involved in this process. So I accept my role as a liaison between the archangels to bring in a separate understanding of what I believe they are communicating through me of why we are here. Now, I say this with permission, if I do have permission to speak from their perspective. Okay, I'm getting a yes. So when I connect with you, each one of you guys, and I've been sitting here and the energies have been communicating to me to again, varying degrees, but I also process with a family here too. The familial line here that I feel in terms of it resonating with the family, we are also family. We work together in ways where we establish our communication between these lines. We have family lines that connect to ancestors from way, way, way back. And if we're able to get all the way back to the level of consciousness where we actually did have a successful form of living in a constitution where there were people that came together and lived in harmony and peace, there was a reciprocity. The sacred reciprocity had to do with the land. It was an acknowledgement. That's you know, to the simplest form. We said, well, this thing that we're standing on is here, literally. So if we're going to acknowledge the land in that way, where we're like, yeah, it's here and I feel it, and you're the best. I love you. Do we actually want to communicate that in the way that this film can come forth, where there is an animation or an embodiment of this filmography? And I think of it as a filmography because I feel like the energy that's coming forth has the potential to be so powerful that we could create a series.
Yes.
And that series can be in and of itself a series of different ways that each person connects to their firmness, right? We say firmness is their grasp, their understanding of what constitutes as their reality. So we work in sections or we work in fragments, but the fragments come together, right? We bring them together in a way where each fragment is this part of the light that's shining on the truth that we can see, touch, hear, and feel. So if we bring all of our touching, healing, and feeling and touching and feeling and hearing senses together, we bring in the collective. And the collective is here with us in terms of people, in terms of animals, in terms of higher beings. We say, when you guys come together, this is about the evolutionary function of what it means to be a human being that is coming of age. And we are a civilization coming of age in the way that we are starting to understand who we are spiritually and why that constitutes what is happening. We have this man who is our designated leader, but is also this really, really divisive leader who embodies our ignorance. And he spiritually is somebody that I believe is a necessity in terms of us becoming more resolute in terms of strengthening how we're going to respond to this looming issue or this incoming greater scenario where we could potentially cause an apocalypse. And this apocalypse wants us to be aware. They want us to be aware of, yes, there is this looming fear that is always going to be there. We are always going to have a scenario where the world is going to end. And if that is something that we can bridge here, if we've all had that sentiment where the world is eventually going to end for us in a way where we are a world. So each one of us has our own ecosystem. We have our own embodiment of this planet. And inherent of that, we have our own story. So if that story comes forth in a way where we can say what we feel or what we want to share or how it comes through in a way where we can animate something, I believe that each one of us is a character that is playing out a symptom of our ignorance. And if that ignorance is becoming more and more aligned to the greater issue, we can say it in a way where it becomes an aspect of our group sessions, where we can say, listen, I am here because this. And as we say each time why we're here, that is going to shift and that is going to change and that is going to grow and that is going to create more of a level of communication. And then we become more embodied. We become more embodied with the energies that are already coming through, that are sending shivers down our spine, that are sending energy upwards and downwards. In this sacred communion between heaven and earth, we start to embody. And if we are an artist in the way that we believe in inspiration and we believe in the godly hand that allows us to flow, in the way that flowing is just inherent of us feeling that attraction to inspiration, we say, I am connected.
I'm connected.
I am connected.
I am connected.
Hey. Hi.
And as we connect more and more, the energy says, I am here.
I am here.
I am here.
And as we connect even more, we say, I am a human being.
I am
a human being.
And as we work together to constitute this embodiment, I say, I am your friend.
I am your
friend.
And we are here to help.
We
are here to help.
So allow us to come through you.
Allow us
to come through you.
And allow us to help you create the best energy field that all of us can create together.
Allow us to
create all the energy that we can create together.
Beautiful. So I say all of this because it is in our best interest to at least have a clear conceptualization of what happens when we bring together a community. So I say this in the way that we've brought together community, we've brought together each other, and I say I am ready to connect to myself.
I am ready to connect with myself.
I am ready to connect to myself.
And I just asked James to share a picture of his Asada cooperative and putting the language. Notice that he's been doing this with Empowering Self-Advocates to Take Action Cooperative. That's what Asada stands for.
I gotcha. Okay,
So we got more coming in.
Yeah, I got a little more coming in just to seal all this in, right? So as we settle into this space, We are connecting with AI. AI is something that I believe that Jay touched upon, augmented intelligence. I believe the same thing. I think the augmented aspect of intelligence can be branched out into other things. In terms of us being embodied, inviting in these higher frequencies, we want to be able to invite in the best possible outcome for the AI collaboration in terms of it being exactly what we need and exactly what we want for us to build a greater construct. Right? The construct is that human civilization is important, and we want to be able to procreate in a way where we're not fearful of a looming apocalypse. And that is the intention here. That is the embodiment here. So as we all embody our version of this greater vision, we are allowing the greater vision to come through us in any way we feel inspired to share. So with all of that, in order for us to bridge this gap between a higher civilization and ours, we call in Archangel Uriel as Joy and Archangel Ramiel as we have Kurt. Then we have Archangel Sariel, Andrea. We have Archangel Raphael as George. And then we have Archangel Samuel as our friend here. I'm sorry for getting your name. James. And then we have Ariel coming in as Stella. So take those names. We can add a name if we need to, or we can adjust if we need to, but giving a name to these archangels is helpful in the process we're in. So again, hang in there. We're going through a process. And if we could just take a nice deep breath all the way in together. And we're going to hold it. And we're going to squeeze our muscles nice and tight, 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 nice and tight. And hold it. And exhale. Wonderful. So we did do a full circulation in terms of the communication and us feeling, and the communication in terms of us collaborating as a group and being embodied to allow this larger frequency to come through and steward us through this wonderful process that Joy is bringing here. So thank you, guys.
Aho.
Aho, thank you so very much, all of you. And thank you, Peter, for being able to carry
As you
this.
see, we have a lot to do and a lot to play with and get the solidity of what just
All right. Be well.
bring us forth
Yep.
until we meet again.
Yeah.
And should we need to,
Yeah.
you
No
know our
question.
phone
No, we want
numbers,
to.
our emails, whatever. If you don't have it, make sure you send it to me, and I'll get it out to everybody else. And
Thank you.
boom shambo.
Boom, boom, Hambo.
I want to say thank
Zoom
you,
and
Peter,
peace,
for
Nick.
the like activation. I want to say thank you to all of us for not only connected with the sense of communion, very, very palpable that we have all for so many, so long, but also for to remember the spiritual calling that we have.
Yes.
I want to thank you, Peter. I work with the archangels. I do integrated energy therapy, and I do work with Kyle Gray. And so the angels are my guardians all the time. And thank you for bringing them in, because it just made me feel really at home.
Yeah.
Not that he wasn't before, but that's all right. It even gets to be more solid, like the mountain behind me.
Yeah. Thank you all. Bye.
Are we finishing?
Yes.
James, there's one thing I wanted to say. The big thing about this and the being at home, I don't necessarily know what I'm going to say, but they're like, listen, Peter, we know what you're doing. Just do what you need to do, and then everything will be fine. So that was like the big push is that we want to be able to give people what they need so that they can feel comfortable just saying, you got to mute yours. Just saying what they feel. And that's something that sometimes can be difficult because we don't have always the words. We don't necessarily always have the framework or the comfort of feeling at home to share these things. So the fact that we were able to bring that sentiment to you in that way means that no matter where you are and where you're feeling, you should always feel like you can share archangels. And you know, me coming from a non-Christian background and non-Christian faith in the way that I move about this world, the archangels literally came to me in a meditation. I started hearing their voice and I was like, oh, this is who it's been the whole time. And now it's to the point where I see them, I interact with them through imagery. And now I've Kurt here who's interacting with them daily, and same with Terry and same with Tuck, and now with you guys. So yeah.
So what's interesting is I want to share a personal experience that I just had with this whole process. Because I've been very uncomfortable in the past talking about a lot of these kinds of things because for whatever reasons.
Of course.
But when you started to talk about the apocalypse,
yeah.
I felt pissed off. And so I want to say, but I tried to raise my hand a couple times to say that that word alone is a fear creating word that I don't personally like. I want to talk about the holism of regeneration and the spiral change, that we are not creating a closed loop system. We are creating a spiralic system that is bringing life forward. What was interesting to me is that I didn't speak because it didn't feel right to do it, but you, Peter, went back and the archangels brought an additional level of wisdom to the table. So they were responding to my reaction to the words to help us transform to another level of understanding. So I wanted to say that I just experienced validation that what was going on with us was in fact interactive. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing. So I'm curious. Well, yeah, I really like the fact that Stella, also you were able to kind of give a little bit of insight.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't talk too much about it. I just go with the flow, and I do put in action with others only through my talents, or if I connect it with kindred spirits that understand that level. Yeah, I'm a channel. I'm an open channel, and but when you were doing the whole process of connection, of course I resonate with you, and my body, especially where all the emotions, you know, the kidneys and all that aspect is like definitely keeping a lot of pressure, and again, you know, and sometimes also I feel intimidated with my English. I've been speaking great English, but I had a brain tumor that I healed it, and like 15 years ago, and I healed it 15 years ago, and it was diagnosed in 2005, and I healed it all natural for 5 years until 2010. It was in my pituitary and my what is the other gland here?
Pineal.
He said pineal gland?
No, the other one.
Pituitary and the pineal and the.
It was in my pituitary and my the other gland that we have here. Oh, totally went. That's it. Well, and
No, that's
which one?
no, I was just saying
No.
endocrine system, but I don't think that's
No, that's I totally forgot. Well, and then after that, I got a huge accident. And then I have a concussion, but I've been just activating, but my cognitive system for languages being very, you know, especially with the Anglo languages. And sometimes, you know, it's being frustrated for me because I live in this country and that's the main language. But I've been working on not to be feeling out of the loop, and I'm connecting more with beings that are here in the United States, but I also connected with another communities in Argentina, in Mexico, Guatemala, and then I think the world of spirit is in Earth is everywhere, and it's just connecting with another spirits, you know, wherever it is. I've been working on my music. I'm a singer, I'm a recording artist. And I'm also being in television and radio in the past. And then I'm looking forward to be doing of more of this work in the near future. But I have a mission, a big mission right now, and it's helping to the transition of my mama. Then that's my commitment now, and I committed with community every time that I have the opportunity. I'm feeling amazing that this is happening, and I receive it all the time. That of course, this is like reactivating again in me, because if you've been telling me in June or July that I will be doing this, I said, really, how it's going to happen? Like I'm connecting, you know, with you, and everything being like being so beautiful, how I've been connecting. And especially I'm very happy that I connected with Kirk and Andrea, so smooth, right? And that Kirk is the one that been inviting me here. Then I'm very, very happy to connect with you guys.
Our pleasure.
Thank you for sharing.
Likewise.
Feelings
mutual.
Thank you, Stella. I also, and so speaking on behalf, right? So the energy, like, of being in a room of creatives, we want to be able to flow in the way that the energy flows and feels good, right? Because that feeling is constituted in the film itself or the creation itself. So if we're creating it through joy and we're creating it out of a positive exhibition where it's this kind of perpetual discovery of, oh, what is this thing that we're actually ushering in? I do want to emphasize that when we do get in these conversations, we bring in these energies, we bring in these aspects of the community that is, you know, ushering in this larger faction of energy, because we do love to bring in these things in terms of our architecture or aesthetic in the fantasy. The fantasy is the part of us that can sometimes feel almost, it's like a kid watches these cartoons, or it's taboo in ways where it trivializes the credibility of the scientific achievement that is looming behind it. But there are aspects of it where we want to get to the kids, and we want to be able to get to the kids, not just the actual kids, but the kid and everybody. So if we are going to approach this in a way that feels like the streamline of courageous achievement, we do need to push ourselves to get out of the norm. And the norm is the norm. I mean, the norm is the status quo we see on MSNBC and all these news channels. It's just stating the numbers. But when we can animate the actual digestion of information into a way where it can feel a little more accessible for anybody, right? You can explain it to a child. I feel like that is the key, and I feel like that is the thing that I was meditating on this morning. I had a visualization. I actually was holding a key in my hand that I saw, and then I saw the waters, and the waters seem to be this this communion in and of itself, where you have this flowing and ushering in of molecules that create this more dense version of life. So the waters are this thing where we're coming together to create. And I'm not per se like a published author. I'm not an illustrator. I'm not somebody who's an accomplished, so to speak, writer in terms of it being on Netflix. But I do believe in my ability to architecturally put together a story that is both fantastical and gripping. And when I say that, in ways where it can grip onto certain human characteristics that we're exhibiting across, you know, across the line of our current situation. So I say that with the solidarity of you guys and, you know, my friends here, the archangels. I would love to be able to put together a story that can capture this information that we're, you know, ushering in and projecting here on these videos and these PowerPoints, etc., and take it into a realm where I can start to add characterization of these people. And like the people that are, we call them archetypes, or we call them villains. And these villains can be people like, you know, the current residing president. It can also be people who have existed before, who exhibit similar traits. And then we can start to bring in the other aspect of the you know, what Jay was saying, but also not so much in like the shadowy realm, but shedding the actual, I guess, shedding the idea that there is even a shadow, right? Like the shadow is the part of us that we're trying to exhibit in the way that, like, we can't see the back of our own head, right? You need something to do that. So where I am in this communion with you guys is I'd love to be able to start to put together, with you guys, if you guys feel inclined to join in. Maybe we'll do it independently if the people who feel the more creatively inclined to sit down, maybe work together, whether it be in person or whatever. I'm in LA too, and start to really put together, our strengths in the creative process and write an actual story, a children's accessible story or a fantastical story where we can bring in the myth. The myth is the thing that we are acting out in terms of Plato, in terms of all Socrates, Aristotle, these great thinkers of our time. We're just an embodiment of the dioceses that are, having these same fits of tantrums and childish emotions up above. So I would love to be able to bring that part in because it also brings in the aspect of our superpower. We are human beings, but we also have a greater version of ourselves that we're trying to harness in the way that we're trying to bring it here through our technology. And we're also trying to bring it here through our belief and our faith. So this is the big thing. This is the big nugget that I really am honored to be able to share in this way, but also so excited and so encouraged that you guys are actually still wanting to be here and listen to what I'm saying, because I feel like it's really a big thing that's not always thought of in the way of gripping the human being in terms of grasping the intangible or the emotional quotient. So I think that was everything that was coming through. Yeah, that seems to be everything.
I want to share it. I love the idea actually, like to bring the content more like with the childish illustrations and visualization. Because, for example, something that I didn't share with you. I do dubbing for film, series, games, and scholastic books and all that. And something that I've been loving to, and because I do character voices, one of the things that they hire me to, in Spanish, I said, to do more like exactly contents that have characters, even when they're talking about deep stories, of everywhere, United States, or talking about the potatoes of the Incas, or talking, and on that, for me, is definitely more accessible to every audience, because we sometimes think that because we are adults and we go to college and we get all the education and all that, we are in a very overwhelming moment that we absolutely need to get the more simplest. The spirituality is so simple that we need to go into the simplest way to understand things more with the illustration, and also take us our brain to be in the actual moment. Now that we're talking more about augmented and AI and all that, that's exactly what we can digest better, the story. That's my suggestion. I love the idea, exactly what you just channeled. Practically, it really, make total sense to me. And there's a few contents that I've been seeing also in YouTube, even talking about exactly what you've been saying, even masters, from ancient times, from Socrates, Plato, and all that. I've been seeing how they work with the illustrations and showing this and that, and we can mix it with beautiful film content, and then to put again the illustration and all that. That's something that we definitely can discuss it. And who knows, then after the series would be also a game, because that's also happening right now. A lot of games are into films, a lot of films are into games.
There was that time when they did a lot of things with what do they call it? Drawing, like somebody's drawing, it's like drawing it so fast.
Exactly.
But it gives you this, like a kid is drawing it. And
Yeah.
brings out the little kid in a person, and that takes the overwhelm of maybe even the message or the times that we're going through, the stresses that are happening. So it brings us more into that open experience, be like little children, you know?
There's few beings already that have been doing that in the nation in life conferences and everything. I've been in Omega Center in New York, and you have exactly what they're talking, all the information, being illustrator, doing it in live right now because they're channeling, right? And it's a moment, that they're listening for one side and creating the ability of illustrating exactly, and everybody see it, and you're definitely following because you can see it. Then yes, it's a wonderful suggestion. I go for it, Peter, and I love Joy. The idea that you mentioned before to create all the boards and all that, because also can help us to organize as well. That's exactly when you go and study board. That's exactly what the producers do.
Sure.
Then and the project management and the project managers. Then that's ideal for us to at least to plant the seed that we already being sharing.
So what I want to say is that you guys are actually responding to a request that I sent out a long time ago, asking for people who can help us write the stories, because I'm not traditionally a storyteller. I do work in the real time, and in real time I tell stories that are relevant to a single person, but I'm not a storyteller in the large sense. And listening to you guys talk about how we can get this done, I am so thrilled about, because I actually I've got the first 2 of 3 books written on when money talks, who's speaking, please. And my first episode is, how are we doing this and why are we creating it? So I've got 2 episodes of a 3-episode series in that particular film or training module to bring forward. And then there's the 3x3 matrix is the Rubik's Cube and how that works. And then there's a 5x5 matrix that teaches about the me, the we, and the we all. And so there's a whole technology around helping people to understand how to bring things forward in a way that is digestible, understandable, and workable by people of all classes, castes, and systems. That it's the principles of how life grows, and it's how atoms work, and it's how systems work, and we create from an inspiration. We are born, and suddenly we look around and we go, wow, we're in a new place. And now what? And then you gather resources, and then those resources combine together. So there are methods and models and this is just the way life works anyway. So being able to bring it forward and make it fun so that people of any age, type, or skill, or caste system, or language can interpret it is the kind of stuff you guys are talking about already. So thank you for showing up.
Yeah, it's a spirit too. I mean, you do want to enjoy life. I mean, we wake up in the morning, and it's not that we want to wake up and go into this grind, this like
No, we
whole
don't.
mental gymnastics
It's delightful.
of it. It's getting into a space where it's like, what do I have to work with? Let's see if we can get some of this stuff out and then start to circulate it in the way where you guys are heating this
right.
feeling. So I'm excited.
Thank
It's
you.
going to be wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you. It's time to go.
Okay.
Thank you all so very much.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank
Then
you,
Peter,
Joy.
bye, Joy, Peter, and Kurt. You're I know Kurt is here. Peter, then you're in Los Angeles as well.
I'm at Kurt's place right now.
Oh, let's get together then.
Yeah, so you can come out here, ma'am. I would assume that's okay. Yeah.
Let's get together. Andrea said that she would come and she picked me up, and then I can definitely, we can go and visit. Okay, let's plan it. I have to plan with Mama, but then we'll plan it. Definitely.
We have a beautiful park down the street, about a mile away, with a lot of nice old oak trees, and we also have Hanson Dam right at our feet, and we got a really nice view of the San Gabriel Mountains.
Todd,
Yeah.
you just sent an invitation for the event that's coming up on the
Yes.
end of this month, like on the
Um,
23rd or something.
mm,
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
you know, that's something that, you know, I don't know who all that is. I didn't have time to look at it, but it might be time for Peter to come join and bring us all back together in a renovation of what was intercepted a year or two ago when I was there last. It might be time for us to do a gathering before or after that to pull all this energy together, because it feels like
Yes. It feels that
Yeah,
we are connected.
that's
Yes.
what that's what it's telling you too, Joy. So if you so you're picking up on the energy that we're connecting you to as well. So yeah, the energy of us renovating or coming into a congregation and regenerating this energy, we want to be able to do it where you're also kind of the steward as well. So if you can you know, in
It's
terms
like
of
the
it being
23rd.
your friends, and yeah, I mean, I'm in. Well, let's do it. But again, in terms of her being your friend and Kurt's friend, I'm never the guy that's gonna just, you know, I don't know. Maybe I can just say I'll do it, and that's all I needed to say.
Fantastic.
Okay, we'll talk
Okay.
soon. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye,
guys.
guys. I will be
Bye.
connected. Okay. I
Sounds
I
good.
keep myself
Yeah, well,
texting. I just need to plan here how
yeah,
exactly I'm gonna do.
we'll
And if
connect
I
soon.
don't,
I'll figure out a way. I've still got some things I gotta plan out
well,
anyway.
you're
So
more than welcome. I'm in Sierra Madre, and you're more than welcome that we can meet around. But
awesome.
you know, let's try then to see how we can definitely make it happen soon. Bye,
Okay.
Joy. Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank you, Joy. Thank
everybody.
you, James. Love you, James.
Have a
Órale,
wonderful weekend.
amigos.
Thank you.